Hello and welcome to a Bergkamp Wonderland, an Arsenal podcast. My name is Kris and I will be your host again this evening. Now, tonight I am joined by a hat-trick of awesomeness. My guests are, first up, it's the man whose wallet has been significantly lighter this week due to unforeseen pussy issues, and a man who's had more dodgy meals on wheels than a 1980s nursing home. It's Danny, the GFP. You all right, Danny?
You are a tit.
I know. You love me though, don't you?
No, that's gay. I did find three £50 notes I thought I'd lost though, so still a grand down from the cat though, and the insurance company said that they're not covering it because it's not public liability, the fuckers.
There's a Sunday League team that I can put you in the direction of that could do with that. So, anywho, onwards we go. Next up, it's a man who's got more connections than Battersea Power Station and a Twitter timeline more full than Danny after a takeaway. It's one of London's finest. It's Mr. Geoff Arsenal. Greetings, Geoff.
Christopher, how the devil are you, sir?
I am good, mate. I'm bearded. I'm sweaty. I'm still in my football kit from training, but I'm here.
Looking well, mate. Looking well.
There's an image for you, eh? Are you well, mate?
Yes, fantastically well. Very good, thank you.
Good to hear. Right, I've left the best till last, obviously. It's the proud Welshman with a penchant for flip-flops and a strong desire to set one Katie Hopkins ablaze, apparently. It's the man that I'll have the pleasure of watching the FA Cup final with. I don't know if pleasure is the right word, but I will be with him anyway. It's Mr. Davies. All right, Jace?
All right, pal.
Doing all right, Mr. Hopkins killer?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I just want you to know, on May the 30th, you are the designated adult.
Good luck to you lot then. The designated sober one, I don't know about adult, but...
You're going to have to get me home, son. I'm going to be smashed.
Get you home? I don't know where our hotel is yet.
You just put me in a taxi. Just say, it's Jason. It'll be fine. Okay.
I'll send one of my boys home with you. It'll be fine.
No, you don't. I wouldn't trust your lot.
No, I don't blame you.
They don't wear bandanas because they're pirates.
Arr.
Any of you watching the football?
No,
Geoff has just been sent off for a dive, and he didn't dive.
He did dive.
Yellow. No, he's not. The bloke took his feet out.
He did dive. He dived.
No. Been done.
Sorry, mate. He's
been gunboated.
I don't even care.
See, the telly's gone off now.
It hasn't
Grace.
Whoa, dude.
Yes. Gone straight off the deep end, straight away. Brilliant.
Go on then, get on with it.
Right, okay, let's get on to what we are talking about, which is obviously the Arsenal. Let's start at the top with the scores on the doors. Danny, take it away.
There are no doors, but there are some scores. Right. Oh, it's one disaster after another for our youth teams. We lost 6-0 to Newcastle, or I think it was 6-0. And then Monday the 20th of April, the under-21s, Middlesbrough 3, Arsenal 2. We had our goalkeeper, Iliev, sent off after 15 minutes. They scored the penalty. Iwobi scored on 31. Super Dan Crowley, 72. So there you go. That's another disaster. Yes.
I got a theory on all this.
Go on then.
Well, bearing in mind that we're full of Ozils and Sanchez's in the team, okay, yeah. These youngsters are, it's going to be hard for them to get in this Arsenal side. So I think they're looking for the Harry Kane route.
Oh, what, rejects?
Yeah. Excellent. They go over to Tottenham.
Mongy rejects.
Yeah, they can become Montards.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the crowd can sing "You're One of Our Own."
Oh, there you go. Well, they can sing, put two words together.
I thought I'd leave that out there.
Oh, bless your socks. Right, Sunday the 19th of April, Man City ladies who are buying their way into the Premier League in football, the Women's Super League, 0, Arsenal ladies 1. And our new goal-scoring sensation, Chioma Ubugagu. It's Ubogagu. Now, I don't know how you say that, Ubogagu. I think that's how you say it, and if I'm wrong, someone let me know.
It's just the way you said it.
Apologise just in case.
Just in case I got that wrong. But a little bit of information here, because I think she's quite interesting. She's a USA Under-21 international. She's now, her first 2 games for us, she came on as a late sub. Third game she started. She's now our top goal scorer with 2 goals in 3 games. And she's actually on Twitter. So she's at CHI already know, KNOW. So go and give her a follow and ask her, have I got her name right? And also in that game, bit of controversy, the Man City midfielder, Jill Scott, England international, got a 3-match ban for headbutting our Jade Bailey. But if I've watched it, and normally in the Premier League, what happens if a player goes near you and puts his head near you? Roll around on the floor for an hour, pretending you're dying. Jade Bailey stood there, took it, didn't even go down and roll around. So there you go. I think the Men's Premier League need to watch some of that and learn how to act like a grown-up. And our ladies are currently second in the Premier League. It's not the Premier League, it's the Women's Super League behind Chelsea. But much like Liverpool and Man City, Chelsea have bought their success. So they're doing their best to kill the football. So there you go.
Nothing new there then, Danny, is there really?
It's all a load of shit. So we're doing our best. I don't think they will ever see the glory days of Arsenal ladies winning everything 20 years in a row like we used to. So we've had the great times now. Just like the Premier League, money has ruined it.
Sorry about the breath there. Okay, well, thank you for that. We're going to come back to you a little bit later on with another segment you do on the loan side, but we're saving that.
Doing that.
Yeah, we're keeping the listeners intrigued by that one.
We'll say that, they've probably all gone.
They all left as soon as they heard I was on. Right, let's get on to the meat and potatoes.
And the volume. People have been complaining about the volume, so the volume now might be a little bit too high, but you can turn it up or you can turn it down. But as Geoff keeps telling me, I can't turn it up when I'm on my moped.
But you can, just for the listeners, if you...
I've tried to turn it up on my iPhone and all sorts.
Don't work, does it, Geoff? It's bullshit.
Two different iPhones, you know?
The easiest way to do it.
Strings.
The easiest way to do it is via, if you use iTunes, you can, on a PC, as in not via a phone, you can go into the individual podcast and turn the volume up on the actual file. So if anyone doesn't know how to do that, send me a tweet and I'll tell you.
But just to try and help them out, I've turned the volume up, so this might be a little bit louder than usual, but you can turn it down.
There we go.
Yes.
Happy days. Although nobody would want to turn you down, Danny. Come on.
Well, plenty of ladies would argue with that.
Moving swiftly on. Right, I just want to do a very quick little piece of information here, just on the Pirates. Obviously, our season is technically finished. We played a friendly last night. We won 5-0. Yeah, boy. So that was good. I can hear people now saying, oh, yeah, they can do it when there's no pressure. Yeah. It's the first time ever that I've had my strongest possible squad out, so that was good. More on that another time, but I do just want to give a very quick list of names. These are people that have very kindly sent in donations to us. I'll touch on our donation page later on, but I just want to read the following names very quickly. Korosh Masavi, Catherine of VX Studios in the USA, William Jongiato, sorry if I've mispronounced that, Will Stafford, Pete Geary, Janzeb Shaheen, Akib, alias Andy Millington, Jason Erasmus, our very own Geoff Hollandfriend, Brendan Kane, Thomas Munt, Michael Kingerby, Dan Ruck, Mark Tagg, Colin Harrison, our very own Goodaholic, our very own Tom Canton, Pete Kennelly, and Kate Johnston. Thank you all very, very much. Your donations have been received, are hugely appreciated, and that's just a little nod from me. So thank you. That's all I've got to say on that for now. Thank you to you all. Yeah, thank God, he says. So let's get on to some Arsenal news. There was a little game last weekend. I think a couple of you might have watched it. Geoff, I think you were there. Am I right in saying?
I certainly was, sir.
There you go. FA Cup semi-final. Opponents were Reading. Wasn't the greatest spectacle, shall we say, but give us your thoughts, Geoff, on overall the result and the performance.
Well, I haven't watched the game. Generally, I watch all the games back afterwards, but I couldn't be bothered after that performance. We wasn't at our best, but at the same time, Reading set out. I mean, you could just tell that Steve Clarke had worked under Jose Mourinho, because the way they set up, they was very, very compact. I don't know what the percentage was on the stats of play and stuff like that, but we had most of the ball all the time, and we just really couldn't break them down. I think we was never really in danger of. I mean, we was never in danger of winning the game. It's just that we do get a little bit bottly sometimes. I was there myself and thinking, are we going to do it again? But at the end of the day, I've seen so many of these quarterfinals and semi-finals go the other way with a big gun against a little gun, that it's just great that we found a way to win in the end. And at the end of the day, it's the going through that counts. Everyone's nervous at a semi-final. The performance wasn't the best, of course. We understand that. We know that. But at the end of the day, who's going to bother about that if we go on in May and win the FA Cup? Hopefully we do. So it's I wouldn't look too much into it. Reading set up. They set up very well. They're very, very fit. And it took us a long time before we eventually got it over the line.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right, by the way. Who gives the monkeys how we got through? Nobody was talking about the Wigan struggle when we beat Hull last year, were they? So it's quickly forgotten once you're in the final when you got a trophy in your hand. Jace, let's come to you. Initial sort of thoughts on the game. Were you nervous? Were you angry? Were you sad? Were you burning people? What were you doing?
No, to be honest, It was strange, okay? I didn't think much of Atkinson's performance as a referee. You know, there were challenges from behind that went unpunished, no cards and so forth. How the boy Williams didn't get a card early doors, I don't know. As G said, they set up to frustrate us. The possession stats show that. I thought they got lucky with their goal in exactly the same way we got with the winner. You know, I was quite... It was one of those games where it's just get through it. It doesn't matter how we played, you know. We had to give Debussy a run out, you know, to come back to fitness. I was quite happy with that. Gibbs, he needed a run out. He got it. Welbeck had a run out. Happy days. These guys got minutes under their belts. I'm not going to mention Chesney.
I will later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But, you know, I thought we did what we needed to do. It was really nice to see Sanchez grab a couple of goals. Super. First goal, what a pass by Ozil, and a great finish. And the second one, well, I do feel for Frederici a bit, but, you know, nobody gives us any sympathy with the Birmingham City howler. So, fuck him.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, actually, because I thought that very same thing when everyone was giving him sympathy. I thought, hang on a minute, they just destroyed Koscielny and Szczesny back in the day. So, yeah, I agree with you on that. Good point.
You know, it's a case of they go for you, they go against you, isn't it? You know, so...
Yeah, couldn't agree more, mate.
He has to have it. Danny,
pick up from where Geoff and Jace have left off. Give us your overall thoughts on that game.
We're through to the final. Ozil,
great, moving on.
Ozil and Ramsey. I mean, Ozil and Sanchez were absolutely stunning. It was much of a two-man show with those two, with a little bit of help from Mad Frank in midfield. But I was annoyed before the game, annoyed during the game, and annoyed after the game that such an important game. We're playing one game a week at the moment. Like, take away the fact that we're through to back-to-back finals, which is a very rare feat indeed, especially if we can win it. There's only been, since post-war, there's only been a few teams that have won back-to-back FA Cups, of which we're one of them. But you look at it, and I think Wenger was... I don't know why he does this. He should have no loyalty to these people at all. Debussy, Szczesny, Gibbs should not have started that game. Welbeck should not have started up front at all. No way. You don't muck around with an FA Cup semi-final against a team that are fighting for their lives in the Championship, because they still can go down. Reading are rubbish. They haven't won a game in about 7 in the Championship, or whatever the number is. I think their last win was a 3-0 FA Cup quarter-final against Bradford, who... as much as Arsenal fans, we like Bradford, like to see them do well. Bradford are rubbish. I mean, they were playing a game every other day virtually, and so Bradford were knackered. Yes, dear.
Sorry, mate. I just want to come in, ask you about, you know, I was happy with those guys coming in. You're not. But, I mean, surely Szczesny's a Polish international. Gibbs is an England international. Debussy's a French international. And Welbeck's an England international. Surely those guys are good enough to beat Reading. Nope. Surely.
Well, Debussy wasn't match fit, so he shouldn't have played. He should have been a sub. I mean, we didn't even have a right back as a sub. I mean, what kind of planning is that? Debussy, there's no way that he should have started that game. He should maybe come on with half hour to go. We should have put out our best team, and then once we're 2, 3, 4-0 up, or whatever it would have been, then you start taking off the players that need a rest. When we're playing one game a week, there is no excuse. Gibbs is out of form. Welbeck has had a great game against Man United because he used to play for them. Other than that, Welbeck has been quiet all season. I'd rather see him out wide than up front. And then Szczesny is just an absolute liability. And I would.
The thing is, Dan, you have got to give these players games, you know, and again, well, you got to. Otherwise,
that's what the under-21s are for. Give players that are having a shit time or coming back from injury a game.
Yeah, you got to give them proper quality, you know, competitive matches, especially, you know, if you may need them in the last, you know, a little bit of the season. You got, you know, and that was it was a good, and there was no reason, like Jason said, they're international footballers. All them players will get into Reading's team, so there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to play them. Yeah, I don't really see.
Well, that's why you didn't watch the game back, Geoff, because it's a rubbish game, because we played rubbish, because as usual we're big-time bottlers. Rubbish game. Or for the neutral, one hell of a game. I mean, we had 23 shots on goal, they had 12. It's a fantastic game to watch, but as an Arsenal fan, it was a shit game.
I don't see that. I see even there. I was always feeling we was in control of the game at all times. I
thought Szczesny was rubbish. Mertesacker was rubbish. Debussy was breathing out of his arse after about an hour. And for the poor bloke, I'm not no fitness expert, but I'd like to ask Dom, would that have done Debussy more harm than good with him playing 2 hours of football?
He walked off the pitch, okay, didn't he?
Yeah, he was knackered, though. To see him running back the second part of the injury time, of the extra time.
There were lots of players knackered.
He was getting a piggyback from Mertesacker. Didn't slow Mertesacker down, though.
Dan, there were lots of players knackered there. There's lots of players who left it all out in the park.
Well, I don't want us to go out in. How many more games have we got as important as that left for this season?
The next one coming up.
I don't care about that. I don't care where we finish. We're going to finish in the top three no matter what.
Yeah, we played a full team against Bradford and got dumped out of it. So you can never tell.
That's what Szczesny was playing, was he?
You can never really tell.
Well, I don't want to take any risks. I want us to win back-to-back FA Cup finals, and by doing that, the likes of Szczesny, Gibbs, and Welbeck playing up front, they shouldn't be anywhere near the team.
Well,
see the difference when Giroud come on. Do you imagine if we'd have had Giroud for the entire game, we wouldn't have played 2 hours of football, we'd have played 90 minutes.
Stop there. I'm just coming to him. Stop there.
Stop.
As you said to me earlier on, stop. I wanted to...
You were sending me message after message and I was trying to talk to Frank.
Well, trying
to be... that sounds like the advert.
I was going to say, ask Frank. Just Danny's in need of some counselling.
He was doing my electrics.
I wanted to highlight a couple of individual performances and just take a little bit from each of you. Geoff, I'll start with you on Alexis. I don't really need to set you up too much. Just go for gold on what you think of him as a whole and what you thought of him on the day.
I just think he's a world-class player. There's no doubt about that. His contribution for us early season was fantastic. His enthusiasm around the pitch, early doors, and even now is the same. It's fantastic. It was a little bit me at the start. I think now he's figured out that we play as a proper team, and he gets other people involved a little bit more. I was a little bit disappointed with him on the weekend. He wasn't keeping the ball that good, but at the end of the day, he scored 2 goals. So, what more can you ask of the lad? And I think he's a fantastic player, and what a great addition to the squad. Honestly, I really do. Danny, what do you reckon?
I think you're not far wrong there. I think he's fantastic addition to the squad, and just shame we haven't got more players with the kind of enthusiasm he has for it all. Can't really add much more than that to it.
Chase?
I agree. I thought he gave the ball away cheaply at times, but to be fair to him, he tries things, and when you try things, you're going to lose the ball. On occasion, he's just been a massive boost to the squad, hasn't he? He's a player we deserve. I think that's about it. And
he's got a lot more to come as well, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You can just see it, can't you?
Can you imagine after he's played for a season with Ozil?
He's got a lot more to come.
When he has that understanding with Giroud that Ramsey's got and Cazolla's got and so forth, it could be... I'm so looking forward to next season. I think we're on the verge of something really special.
Bags of potential in there. Bags of potential. Another one I want to talk about. There's a couple just to rip through. That sounds a bit harsh, doesn't it? To talk about, I should say. Let's go to the famous Ozil watch. Danny, were you keeping close tabs on the German? And what about that pass for the first goal as well?
Oh, the bloke is he's just a delight to watch. A few stats here. Pass accuracy 90%. That's 9 out of 10 passes were accurate. That's the stuff of legend.
But Dan, his ambition with his passes.
Yeah.
He shows so much
They're
ambition.
not sideways crab passes, are they?
Exactly.
No.
And he's got 90%.
Yeah, 90% of passes that most players would even struggle to get 1 or 2. And he could probably do it with his little boogie eyes closed. He wouldn't care. 140 touches. Now, I've not compared that to the rest of the people. I know it was an extra half an hour. But 140 touches is amazing. Only 1 foul, 3 shots, 1 dribble, 2 tackles. Got a rating of 9 out of 10. The only player who beat him was the Chilean sensation with 9.1. And a few of... Shall I do his stats, Kris?
Yeah, go for it.
Pass accuracy, 76%. Touches, 84 compared to Ozil's 140. 2 fouls, 4 shots, 4 dribbles, 2 tackles, rating 9.1. So them two alone were just a delight to watch for the whole game. And I think, like we were all saying, for next season, you're going to have, our attacking front four of Giroud, Sanchez on the left, Ozil in the middle, and maybe Ramsey out wide, or any other. I don't care who it is. And then with the Koch and Cazorla in the middle, it's absolutely brilliant. And I don't think Cazorla gets enough credit for being a player who should be playing in the number 10 role, who has moved back to a holding, passing, attacking, defending central midfielder with the quietest feet in football, and he's only 4'2". Genius.
Perfectly summed up. What a way to
you can't hit the target for Toffee, though.
You shush your noise. How many penalties has he missed?
I don't care about that. From open play, he couldn't hit the target. He couldn't hit the cow's arse of the banjo.
I would have Santi Cazorla in every single side I ever had.
So would I.
100%.
He's a great footballer, lads, but his goal return from open play. You look at the finish against Liverpool at home in the league last season.
You're a Cazorlaist, that's what you are. You and your gunboats.
Oh, that was world class. That was a world class finish against Liverpool last year.
Yeah, but where was he playing, Jace? He's not playing that position this year.
It doesn't matter when he has played there. He hasn't had a good enough goal return.
You've got to have a run, though. Go on.
Shooting at the goal is part of playing football for anybody.
Thank you for that, Jace.
Can we shoot more? Exactly. No, it's that simple, though, isn't it? Again, he didn't even test the keeper with his 2 efforts.
Doesn't need to. He gives it to other people to do.
If we'd have lost that game, it's one of those. It's the same with Ramsey's.
If we'd have lost that game, you'd be talking to a corpse. I'd have ended it all.
Back in time.
You'd have to be getting Derek Okora in to get hold of me.
Oh, not another Scouser.
With his Ouija board.
He's not going to Wembley either, is he?
Bless his socks. And old Sam. Oh.
Well, I don't know where to go from there. I'm just going to move on, I think.
Probably best.
Geoff, you got anything to add on Mesut? And I know you've been a staunch defender of the people that have criticised him in the early part of the season. I presume you're still in that camp now?
What I like about Ozil is he just lets the ball do the talking. Everyone was criticising, and it wasn't on his best form, when he come back from his injury. It took him a little bit of time to get, but now you can see he's fitter now. He's fitter, stronger. He's used to the game a little bit more, and he's fantastic. He's very courageous. Even all through that time. He's always still looking for the ball. He's always still wanting the ball. And that's a sign of a top quality player. Even if they're having a little bit of a trouble in their confidence or whatever, they wasn't playing as well. He'd always still look for the ball. And his passing is unbelievable. He's second to none. He's a fantastic passer of the ball. And he's another one that we've got, we've got a lot to come from Mesut Ozil, I'm sure.
He's brave with his passing as well, isn't he? He'll try to thread that needle every time, and he gets back and he's putting his body into challenges now, isn't he? He's not shying away from the physical side of it anymore.
No, I can agree more. And obviously, this bulking up thing, it's been well documented that he's come back slightly larger, shall we say? And I think that certainly helped his game, certainly in Premier League style, anyway. Let's move on to another player I wanted to highlight. A man who's sort of doing a job for the team very much at the moment. Don't think it was his best game, but Jace, while you're there, one of your countrymen, Aaron Ramsey's being sort of forced out on this right-hand side. What did you make of his performance? Do you think that his levels are sort of just not quite there because of where he's playing?
No, I don't. I thought, he was decent against Burnley. I thought it was a quieter game for the right-hand side because Debussy had run out of gas. He's not getting up and supporting him the way Bellerin normally does. I thought they were really quick to close Santi down on the day as well. The balls coming through to him weren't of that great quality, and he didn't have the support on that side. I wish he'd have put that chance he had away, where the defender's been hanging all over him in the box. It's come back off the keeper. It's at an awkward angle. There is a defender coming across, but he didn't. So, it happens. But I thought he did a job there. But, you could tell what sort of day it was for him because he had to come inside to look for the ball all the time. The ball wasn't reaching him out in the right, so he's got to come inside constantly. And I think that was down to Clark's tactics, where, you know, they've tried to stifle Santi, bringing the ball out of that area, coming from Coquelin. There's nothing much you can do about that. Sometimes you just got to acknowledge that other teams have got a good game plan to try to shut you down.
Yeah.
Okay? And you've got to keep on going. And it's not going to work for every player every week. You know, like I said, I don't think Santi had a great game on Saturday. But it's not the end of the world either. You know, he's still performing really well at the moment. I just wish he could add a couple of goals to his game.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
I think it's a fair comment. I suppose people have their different views. Danny,
yeah, but you know, it doesn't take away from these players' quality. You know, I know Rambo. There's a question, we'll get to it later, but you know, it doesn't take away from their quality. It's just that sometimes you have a difficult day at the office.
Yeah, we've all had them, haven't we?
Tell me about
it. Danny, what do you think on Ramsey? I mean, do you? Similar question, really. Do you have a different view, or do you think the same with regards to where he's playing out of position almost?
No, I don't care where he plays. I mean, I said a little while ago my future for Arsenal in the central midfield was Ramsey and Wilshere, and I think Wilshere he'll probably bugger off in the summer. I wouldn't be surprised. Someone will offer a shitload of money for him. He'll go up there and ruin his career by playing FIFA all the time, being a tit. But Ramsey, I think his heart is in it. I don't like seeing when you play him out on the right, he's not really just playing out on the right. It's like when we say Ozil should be playing out on the left. If you look at his heat map, it's more in towards the middle and then interacting and swapping around with other players and moving all over the place. I just think that next season Ramsey's going to get more games in the central midfield next to Mad Frank, and then I think we'll see a lot more from him. But what he needs is a run of games. He is a bit of a confidence player as well, and people don't boo him, because if you do boo him, I'm going to find out where you live and come and shit in your flower beds. I'm not having any of it. Ramsey is the future of Arsenal. If we fuck him off, he's going to go and join old Jug Ears at Real Madrid, and we don't want to see that. We want to see it the other way. We want to see Jug Ears come and play for us. Imagine those two playing. Oh, Davies just had a moment. Imagine seeing Bale and Ramsey together at Arsenal.
We're back at 10, lads.
If Dom's listening, I'll just say Schneidlin, and there you go. You've got two of the ABW 11 having a moment together.
Fair enough.
Got to Skype Dom. I'll be back now.
Fair enough. Geoff, I want to ask you about a slightly different player, actually. Talk to me about Olivier Giroud. I know that there was the Twitter fans and even the people that go to the game or supporters that go to the games were very split on Olivier. Going into the season, he was our only striker until Danny Welbeck came in. For me, I said this a few weeks ago, I think he's one of the best in the world at what he does in the role he does for us. Do you agree with that? Do you sort of sympathise with the stick that he had earlier in the season? And do you think that he's now finding a level where he is 100% the main man?
It's incredible the improvement he's made, the lad, and I think it's all to do with confidence. You know, he's settled now. He's settled down into the Premier League. He's bulked up a little bit with regard to he realises that he's got to be more aggressive, and you've seen that now. Every single header, if he doesn't win it, the other guy doesn't win it cleanly because he's all over him. And it's you know, you can tell that the squad are believing in him, the players on the pitch, whereas maybe when he was going through that poor period, he was losing a bit of confidence, and everyone was, you know, thinking, oh, well, if we knock the ball up to him, it's not guaranteed to going to stay there, or it might not come back, or it'll go straight back over our head. But you can see now that, you know, all the squad together are believing in what they're doing, and Giroud is an integral part of that. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And, you know, there was a hell of a lot of stick for Ollie, God bless him, you know, maybe even this time last year, where they was, you know, saying he's just really not good enough, blah, blah, blah. And to be honest with you, I was thinking to myself, you know, is this guy really going to be a part of a team that wins a Premier League for Arsenal? And you know what? I can see it. You know, he is a player that would definitely get in our team that could win the Premier League. And credit to the lad, he's done really, really well. Your question, is he one of the best in the world at what he does for Arsenal? I think he definitely is. There's not many really, really top centre forwards out there that could make a great big difference to Arsenal's football team as much as Ollie Giroud does. I think he's done really, really well.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Jace, you want to come in on Ollie as well?
Yeah, I totally agree with what G said, but I mean, what I love about him now, this time last year, you know, he was petulant. Not this time, earlier in the season last season, he was petulant and he'd moan a lot. You saw him come on that pitch on Saturday and he just acted like the man. We spoke a few pods ago about being the hero, about coming on, believing in yourself and having a go. And that was the aura he had coming on. The first challenge, bang, I'm winning this. No messing about. I'm not being physically muscled by anyone. I'm winning that header. And it's of great credit to him. You know, in the same way we've complimented Coquelin and taken his chance, you've got to give the same credit to Ollie Giroud. He's upped his performance levels so much this season. It's fantastic, and I agree with G. I think we can win a league title with him up top, no problem whatsoever. I would like to see somebody challenge him. Don't get me wrong, but he is world class at what he does. No ifs or buts.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly put. Danny, just round us off. I know you're quite the fan of Olivier as well, aren't you?
Say that again, Chris. I was just someone come to the front door. Angry Colin looking for Gaviscon. Bless his soul.
Bloody hell, angry. I was just saying we're just talking about Olivier Giroud. I was saying,
yes, I heard that.
From what I could gather, you're a fan as well.
Oh, the man's an absolute fuck. He's adapted his game so much now. It is. I mean, his goals per game ratio is the best in the Premier League. And what did he cost us? 10, 11, 12, 13 million?
About 12, wasn't it? I think.
Oh
from memory.
My God, and when he come to us, because when he played for Montpellier and they won the French league with Eden Hazard, and was Hazard, wasn't he?
No, Hazard was at Lille.
Yeah, okay, I'll get my champions mixed up. But when he was there, he was a bit of a header monkey, wasn't he? Everything was with the head. And when he come to Arsenal, much like when Marouane Chamakh come to Arsenal, I remember him winning the league with Bordeaux, and he was a header monkey as well. And he couldn't adapt his game at all, and we ended up letting him go to Palace and doing bugger all there. And Giroud has not only adapted his game, he's just changed it completely. I can even see, I said the other day, could we ever see Giroud playing in the kind of behind the striker role? Because when he plays with his back to goal and when he links up with the rest of the team, I reckon one day, because all great players, the older they get, the further back they go. Your Hullet, or notice I don't say your Hullets or your Mateuses. I don't like it when people say that. It's singular, not plural. So like a Hullet or a Mateus, they used to play more forward, and the older they get, the further back they go, like Santi is at the moment. And I think that one day we might see Giroud play in the kind of holding midfield role behind the striker, because his years with us, with learning how to do that role, I think he's got an eye for it. And I think he could be great, but he's one of my players of the season now that he's come on. And at the beginning of the season, I thought, this is going to be make or break. He might never come back. He might not get his place back in the team with Sanchez. But it just shows what a manager Wenger is and what a player Sanchez is, to go, right, you're the main man for the first half of the season. Now get back to your position. Giroud's here, and Giroud's come on and got nearly a goal a game. It's just an absolute delight to watch.
Kind of changed the game as well, didn't he, when he come on? I thought we just, there's nothing against Danny Welbeck, who I think for my money has been really, really good. He's been better than I thought, if I'm honest, when he joined us. But when Giroud came on in that cup semi, he, for me, just transformed our forward line. We just looked a different side.
And the whole crowd was up for it as well.
Yeah,
I mean, Welbeck is good, but I don't think Welbeck's ever going to be a striker for us. I think he's better, a bit of a Theo Walcott with more goals, playing either side or coming on and playing up front when we need a little bit of pace. But I just get the feeling that he's never going to be able to compete with Giroud for the number one striker role.
Yeah, I think it's more likely to be the odd rotation for games where, I hate doing down clubs, but the lesser sides at home is probably when Welbeck will get games, I think, in that position. Couldn't agree more. That's all the positives out the way. I don't like being negative, but we do have to cover our goalkeeper on the day. Geoff, I'll start with you on this one. We've kind of been over the rumours, the counter rumours, the attitude issues with Szczesny. I don't want to sort of go into that too much, but just on the day, he just didn't look like a guy who was confident, a guy who was. He never seemed to be set for things. He always seemed to be in a bit of a hurry. What's your kind of views of it? Firstly, do you still think he'll be the goalkeeper in the cup final? And if you don't, why would you change it?
I think he will be the goalkeeper in the cup final because that's what Wenger does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'd be really surprised if he does change it. He did it last year with Fabianski, and I think he'll do the same again this year. You know what I think is he gave that goal away. I think it was definitely down to him. He should have saved that. It was ridiculous, wasn't it? But the goalkeepers need to play, and they need to play competitive matches. And if they're not playing competitive matches, they get a little bit rusty. And he's a young lad. Maybe he's not concentrating 100% on his game because he's not playing every single game, etc. I still think there's a good goalkeeper in him. I really do, and I think we've got to persevere with him. I mean, there's a lot of the outcry on Twitter at the moment is a similar type of outcry that I saw about Ollie Giroud a year ago, Ramsey 18 months ago, and they seem to come through it. I do still believe that there is a goalkeeper in him, a good goalkeeper. We just got to persevere. That's my honest opinion. I could be totally wrong. Jason?
I got to be honest with you, I'm slightly different to you on this. I couldn't see Ospina playing in the cup final simply because it was a different scenario with Fabianski last season. Fabianski, the penalty saves against Wigan, he never let the club down. I think Szczesny this season has let the club down with the smoking in the showers incident and so forth. And I just see him as being headshot. I just think he's lost all confidence. He just didn't. You want your goalkeeper to be, even if Mad Jens commanded his area, David Seaman commanded his area. He doesn't look like that to me. I just don't see it in him anymore. Is he a talented keeper? Yes, no doubt. He's a world-class talent, but his thought process is all to hell. And an Arsenal keeper needs to be making that save on Saturday. He needs to be making it end of. And I can't see with his father and the sort of people he's got around him how after the Southampton game and all the furore around that, he hasn't taken a long hard look at himself and thought, okay, I'm in trouble here. I need to change things around, and I need to make a difference in what I'm doing and how I'm thinking about the game and so forth. He's not a child. He needs to do that, and he hasn't done it. And I just see that he hasn't improved at all, even with the layoff. I thought, not last season, but the season before, he was very lucky to get his place back, because Fabianski had a run in the team, and Fabianski had done really well for us. He'd cut out all the flappy stuff out, and Szczesny didn't earn that spot back. I think that's the problem with him. He hasn't earned it. It's been handed to him on a plate, and he doesn't appreciate it. I'd love to see him do well at the Arsenal. I really would. But
he's gone a little bit Almunia, funny enough, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I was just thinking the same.
That's bang on the money, though, isn't it? And it's a shame because you want to see him do well. I don't want to see any of our players do badly. I can see the potential in all of them. But, if he's not brave enough or big enough of a man to understand that, right, he needs to change what he's doing, then nobody can help him. And that's my worry, G. I don't see how he's going to change what he's doing at the moment, because I don't think he accepts that there's a problem.
Yeah, I think they're all completely valid points. And I know, Danny, we had a question, didn't we, from the Twitter sphere about this?
Did. From Chennai Guna, Chuwu, I don't know why I said that. Should Arsenal try and get Oblak from Atletico Madrid as our first choice keeper?
This was coming.
Now, a little bit about this bloke. I saw him play last night and I thought he was outstanding. Do you know he's only just gone 22? Mm-hmm. 6'1". He is a Slovenian international, only 5 games for Slovenia. Atletico Madrid, my boys, Atletico, not Athlet.
Athlet, yeah.
They got him from Benfica for about £12.6 million in the summer just gone. Now, you can't really judge a player too much. He's only played 5, according to Wikipedia, he's only played 5 games for Atletico in the league. I think he must be their cup goalkeeper then. He's played 14 games in all competitions, but Benfica had him when they loaned him out to 1, 2, 3, 4 other Portuguese teams, I think he did. So in his entire career, he's only played 121 games, most of those on loan. So personally, I don't know. I think he's another one that he looks good, but again, so many goalkeepers do look good at that age. What do you think, Jace? Or don't you care because it's not English football?
No, I haven't seen enough of him play, but...
Take it up then.
To be honest, I wouldn't go that route. If I was in Arsene Wenger's shoes, I would go balls out for Czech. Bring in that world-class goalkeeper, set a standard again, set a standard of goalkeeping within the club, and, he's 32, 33 now, whatever he is.
Yep.
Okay? You've got him for 4 or 5 years. He's worth every penny of £10, £12 million. Make no mistake about it.
But he's only got 1 year in his contract left to go, though, hasn't he?
Well, it doesn't matter.
He's 33 in a couple of weeks.
But for me, I think Ospina's... I'm not a big Ospina fan. I think he's done well for us. But I just think you get that world-class goalkeeper in, that settles your back four down. That sets a precedent in your defending. And you move on from there. And then whoever's going to come in to challenge Czech has really got to earn that place. If you see what I mean. They've got to earn the spot. I don't see the point in getting another kid where, if he has a bad spell, he could go Szczesny as opposed to being a Czech. I think pay the money for the right keeper and will be okay. But I haven't seen enough of this lad to make an informed judgment, to be honest with you.
I think just when, actually I'll ask you on this one, Geoff, obviously, man with a finger in the pulse, or finger on the pulse, I should say, in the pulse is even worse.
Evening, Doctor.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. If you just like to bend over, this won't take a moment. The talk is that, or certainly from a Chelsea side of things, that the talk is that Czech has given them such good service that if he was to come to Mourinho, God bless him, and actually say, Arsenal is where I would like to go. There were quite a lot of rumours that we made an inquiry in January. Firstly, do you know if that is the case? And secondly, do you think there's any way that we would go back and investigate the possibility in the summer?
I hear the same as you about the rumours about him about making inquiries. I don't think there's no way in the world that Mourinho would sell Peter Cech to Arsenal this summer for any amount of money. If he walked in and said, "Listen, I want to go to Arsenal," I'd say, "Okay, fair enough. You go to Arsenal at your end of your contract." They won't. They're not going to. I don't think they're going to give him to us for 5 or 8 or whatever £1 million. I think that's all he's worth, really. Maybe £8-10 million. But I really can't. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I can't see Mourinho letting it go by, no matter how. He's you heard what he said about Lampard, about the loyalty and everything else, and the club is the club, and Lampard's move to Man City was what he wanted to do, and that was it. The same thing will happen. He'll do whatever. Mourinho works for Chelsea Football Club, and he'll do whatever he can to do for the best for the club, regardless of emotion and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I just
agree.
looked on transfermarket.com and it says his contract expires June 2016, by which time he will be 34, and his market value is about £9 million or 12 million euros.
There you go.
He's played 484 games for Chelsea. I mean, most seasons he's averaging 50 games a season. 2 years ago he got 59.
I hate to say it about one of them, but he is a magnificent footballer.
And he could play till he's 38, 39.
Yeah.
I honestly would rather stick with Szczesny. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah, honest to God.
I'd fuck him off out of the club as soon as possible.
with that being said, Geoff, then, here's sort of just a brief sub-question. Let's just say that the manager did decide that Szczesny had his time and, that it was time to move him on. Obviously, the market value would be that he would get a fair price for him. If that was the case, in your opinion, do you think the club would move for a backup to Ospina, or do you think they would move for another first-choice goalkeeper? Because bear in mind, he brought in Ospina to challenge Szczesny, to drive him on almost as Fabianski did. So do you think that we would replace, a number one, or would we just go for a backup until Martinez is ready?
Definitely go for a number one. No doubt about it.
Mm. That's an interesting answer. Thank you for being direct as well. I like that. That'll cause some interest. So
he's always direct, isn't he?
He is. Absolutely.
For that.
No, I like it. It's honest, and I, for money's worth, I think he's probably right. Right, let's move things on a little bit then. I do just want to touch on our FA Cup final opponents. God bless Captain Bellend's Aston Villa. Tim Sherwood, yes, he's a character, isn't he? Tactics Tim.
I take it that's who Daniel and James mean when they're on about Tactics Tim.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was Tim Payton or Tim Stillman.
Oh no, definitely.
No, good girl, a little bit mean about him.
As much as I still think he's a little bit of a fraud, if I'm honest, but credit where credit's due, he steered Villa from nigh on relegation services.
Call him a fraud?
I just don't buy into this.
He's got one of the best win ratios.
Oh, don't
Hotspur's history.
Oh no.
He has. I'm sorry. Okay, he has. He's got one of the best win ratios in the history. Okay, they get rid of him. He turns around a Villa team with no confidence, playing dog shit football, and he's turned them into a team competing in the Premier League.
He only beat the Scousers bin dipping shitbags, for fuck's sake. It's not like he beat a decent team.
In 8 or 9 games, he's got more wins than Lambert had all season. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm no lover of Tim Sherwood, but give the guy a bit of respect, guys.
I just have.
Fraud my ass. I'm sorry. Everybody uses this word fraud when they describe footballers or managers on hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. Well, hold up, we're sitting behind a fucking keyboard.
You ready for the stat, Jace?
Grip.
Jace,
go for it, son.
Chill your beans. Spurs ratio, played 28, won 14, 50% win ratio. Aston Villa, played 10, won 5, 50% win ratio. Exactly 50%.
Yeah, but still, it's better than the people who were there before him, isn't it?
That's not really hard, is it? Most of them couldn't even walk upright.
He's taken over these teams when they've been down in the doldrums.
Well, we'll see this time next season if he's still there, whether he's been made manager of Brazil.
Only time will tell that, but, give him a bit of don't call him a fraud. I mean,
you call him whatever he wants. You call me worse on a daily basis.
We call ourselves a classy club. Let's act a bit classy.
Well, I'm just saying, in my opinion, these are not the views of the Arsenal podcast, the Bergkamp Wonderland podcast. These are the views of Kris Carpenter. You can quote me on these.
Nicely
I think
recovered.
He's a fraud. End of story.
I like the bloke.
Well,
I'm
sure he's a lovely guy, and
he's an Arsenal fan, just like his old man.
He's got epic banter, whatever that means. But I just don't buy it. I think he's got a touch of the Pardew about him, who has also had a brilliant season.
I like Pardew as well.
Well, okay, fine.
I tell you what, boys, how funny is it with all those Geordies or Pardew out?
Yeah, it is quite funny. Yeah,
and look at them now.
It is quite funny.
They're going down with the sun.
Anyway, whatever you think of Tim Sherwood, and as I was just saying, credit where credit's due. He's added by Ord Benteke. He's made Fabian Delph look decent, and he's made Bonhor remember that he's a footballer. So credit to him for that. I'll give him some credit. And whatever you think, they're in the final. They're our opponents.
Tactics team.
Stop it, Geoff. First of all, Geoff, what do you? I was looking at the opponents we were talking about on the radio show the other day, and largely held opinion was that most people wanted Liverpool because Arsenal would raise their game. Do you think there's any sort of chance that Aston Villa is almost a worse opponent for us to play, or are you quite happy with that draw for the final?
No, I definitely prefer Villa than Liverpool. Liverpool, they've got proper quality. No doubt. I mean, Villa have got decent quality as well, but they've not got as many game changers and winners as Liverpool. And I think we've done well out of the two of them to get Villa instead of Liverpool. Still going to be a very, very difficult game. It's like it's a winner takes all tie. FA Cup final, anything can happen. I'd say it again. We've seen it so many times where the underdog overcomes the team that's favorited. But as long as we've got to go at it with the right attitude. As long as we've got the right attitude and match them for 60 minutes, usually the quality does tell in the end and come through. But it's the FA Cup. Honestly, anything can happen, and it's just madness how it does.
Yeah, I inclined to agree. I know on the radio show, Danny was on it with me. I said, Danny, were we the only two that wanted Villa? I think we were, weren't we?
I said I'd love to have Villa because I don't think there'll be as much pressure playing against Villa, and we recently beat them 5-0, and that psychologically can mess them up.
Yeah. Okay.
And I said I'd like to see him. It'd be the hottest day of the year, and tactics team will be stood there melting because he's got a woolen pullover his mum made him.
well, let's get back over to the Tim Sherwood Fan Club Appreciation Society manager. Jason, I'm only kidding. Jace, you and I will be obviously sat together watching this game. After you finish taking the piss out of me, you've got all morning to do that. Do you think both you and I will be cowering behind each other come full time or close to full time, or do you think that this will be straightforward?
Look, it's cup final. I agree with G. Nothing's ever straightforward. I'm happier it's Villa than it is Liverpool because Liverpool got a couple of match winners in there. They have, make no bones about it. And combined with that, it bypasses all that Stevie G bollocks.
Yeah.
That's done. That's gone. Who cares? No, we don't have to think of it anymore. Maybe we can send him a birthday card. Oh, fuck you. But you can't take them lightly. Benteke is a top striker. Delph is a good midfielder, These guys are Premiership footballers because they've earned it. And, they've had a poor season, but they've turned it around. Let's just hope, we turn up and we play our best football. If we play our best football, we beat them, no problem. But it's a cup final, isn't it? You look at last season.
Yeah. It's I think, like all of you have said, it depends which Arsenal turn up on the day. Let's be perfectly honest and let's be straight about this. If the right Arsenal turn up with the right attitude, fitness assuming, because a lot can happen between now and the end of the season, as we know many times. But if we've got a strongest possible 11 or close to it, and we turn up with the right attitude, then let's be perfectly frank, we should blow them away. But unfortunately, as you've all said, cup football has a horrible thing of biting you in the arse. So we've got to go, as Jace would say, balls out and win it before we have to worry about it. That's my kind of way of thinking. I do just want to have one very brief moment. Can we all just have a little giggle at Liverpool? Is that all right? Can we do that, Danny?
We've got a Twitter question about that.
Well, have we? Perfect. Well, there you go.
You didn't know that was coming, did you?
I didn't. That was brilliant.
From Lee Dempster, not Dumpster, in case you were getting mixed up. That sounds like a wrestling name. Who was there wasn't
Duke
one?
Duke the Dumpster Drosy.
There you go. How funny is it watching the last 12 months of Steven Gerrard's Liverpool career? Shall we all chip in and get him a ticket? Jeff, can you sort him out a ticket?
I'm afraid not, mate.
No, well, maybe we'll ask Fife, because Fife made out that he had 12 tickets for the semi-final, and then we realised he meant for the pub.
That was priceless.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah, because like we were saying, we were just talking about it last week, and Fife went, I had 12 tickets. We were going, what? How the hell did you get 12 tickets? They're all going to go mental. You can't have all. You went, no, to the pub to watch the game. That's funny.
Perhaps if we all chip in, maybe we can buy Jack Grealish some shin pads that fit as well. He's very old school, isn't he? Very Steve Claridge.
Is that the England, Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland legend?
Oh, the bloody crap that come out the day afterwards. We should get him signed up now. He's played one bloody game. Anyway, he's got lovely hair. Right, let's move this on. That pretty much draws a line under where we are. Obviously, we'll do a full FA Cup final preview when Lord Gimli returns in a couple of weeks' time. I'm sure we'll cover that in more depth later. Do
you want to tell the listeners what I said to Gimli today? Any messages you want to give to the listeners? What was his 2 messages?
I can't remember. It's a long time ago.
One of them was, I'll be back next week. And what was the second one?
Oh, I believe he said Carpenter out.
Hey,
because that's fucking original, isn't it? You mong. Anyway,
if you
yes.
ever find your body, Gimli will have no idea what happened to you.
He's not wrong, though, is he?
Oh, don't you bloody start. 5-0 last night.
5-0.
5-0.
Hat-trick and an assist by, who was it?
Sam Bruty.
Well, he's in the league for that.
Oh, just get back in your box.
Don't shit on his parade.
Get back in your box.
Sorry,
a win is a win. That's all that matters.
Where did you come in the league, Chris? No, I'm not a serious question.
No, we finished second bottom, Jeff, but we avoided the trapdoor, so we're staying in Div 3. So
he did a tactics, Tim.
Genuine cause for not alarm. That's the wrong word. No, genuine cause for optimism after last night. There was some bloody
clear out in the summer or not?
Oh, clear out, mate. We've already let 5 go, and we've got 2 on trial at the moment. So people want to play for us. No.
Jeff, the problem is they've got to take in all the jerseys now.
So we haven't.
They're on eBay for £1 million each.
Oh, Christ. Anyway, nobody wants to listen to my waffle. Right, Lone Watch.
Usually.
Thank you. Lone Watch, Danny, since
Yes.
you chapped up. What I want to do now is just spend a couple of minutes just talking about players that are currently out on loan, because we haven't got any in on loan. And I just want to sort of, between Geoff and Jace, I just want to get their views on whether they think these players will come back to the club, or whether they will come back to the club and be sold. So let's see who you've got on our Lone Watch for us.
I've done this alphabetically, and so the first one, here we go, I'm going to fuck this up. Semi Ajayi, is that right?
Yeah.
21-year-old central defender, currently on loan at Cardiff in the Championship. No games, and they're 14th out of 24, which he's had bugger all to do with. So he was a young man. We had him on trial, I think, from Charlton Athletic. He played one game, scored a goal, and then we signed him up. He looks like a decent prospect, but I doubt if anybody can have anything other than that to say about him, can they? Not much to go on.
No, he's a young lad, isn't he? He's probably his best years are in the future.
Shall I move on then?
Yeah.
To be fair to him as well, guys, Russell Slade at Cardiff City is an absolute failure.
It's not worked, does it?
Honestly,
he's no tactics, Tim.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he'd love to have a win ratio of 50%. Okay,
yeah.
He's a joke. He's a laughing stock. The stadium's half empty there. It's grim days.
We could give him a job at the Pirates if he wants.
He's not good enough for the Pirates, mate.
Fucking hell, I'm saying something.
I'm not being funny. If there's a choice between you and Russell Slade, I'm choosing you.
How about Russell Brand? Russell Crowe? Russell Harty?
Russell Harty's got more of a chance than Russell Slade.
Right, moving on.
Yeah,
Joel, World Cup legend Campbell, he's 22 years old. He's at Villarreal in Spain. They are currently 6th out of 20 La Liga teams, and he has played 16 games. 0 goals.
He played bloody well last week, by the way, but that's another story.
Is he playing wide or is he playing up front?
He plays wide of a 3 for Villarreal. He's the right side of the attacking 3.
Like Ramsey was playing at the weekend.
You've got Vieto to one side and you've got Campbell to the other, and then a choice of centre forward.
Geoff, any wise words on Mr. Campbell? Do you think his card is marked, as you would say?
I think, personally, I think that they'll accept a decent offer for him in the summer.
Oh, Jace?
Bring him back, get him gone. Sell him.
Oh.
What did that mob at Stoke say about him, Joe? What did you
get on while you can?
Yeah, while you can. as we're romping to second in the league and an FA Cup final.
Back-to-back finals.
By the way, do you see that guy from at the Southampton game? 3-year ban.
Oh, yes,
he do?
Yeah.
3-year ban. What a twat.
What did he do?
What a twat he looks now.
Yeah, what a prick, innit?
No one's going to answer me, are they?
Sorry,
he ran on the pitch. He ran on the pitch when we was getting beat 2-0. Was it 2-0, you think it was? Getting beat anyway. And he was pointing at Wenger and saying, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, that mug.
Cheerio.
Okay, moving on.
Just on Joel Campbell very briefly.
Yes,
I do think he probably will be sold. I think his chance was this summer. However,
and about 8 million, I reckon we'll get for him if that.
We won't get that. We'll get 6. However, the only way I can see him staying is if we don't find the quote unquote adequate replacement for him. So
he's not good enough.
No, I'm not saying he is or isn't.
He's just not good enough.
I'm just saying that I don't think the manager will let him go until he brings in what he classes as an upgrade.
What about Serge Gnabry? Serge Gnabry's there.
He's got to prove his fitness, though, hasn't he, James?
Okay, go on, carry on.
Oh, I meant to say, in the under-21 game, none of the first-team players played or were on the bench. So there you go. Like recently, we've had Gnabry and Wilshere and Diaby and all that lot around. None of those played. I forgot to mention that. Okay, next player. Jack Jebb, 19, midfielder, on loan to Stevenage in League 2. And for those people not in the UK, that's the 4th division, if the Premier League is the 1st division. They are currently 6th out of 24. They're pushing for a playoff place. And he has played 8 games and scored 0 goals. Does anybody want to say anything about him?
Not really.
I haven't seen him play, but he's young enough. Leave him develop a bit.
He's only 19.
Back out on loan.
Yep.
Leave him in his trade.
Good.
Yep, agreed.
Okay, Carl Jenkinson with his Arsenal bedspread. He's a right back, 22 years old, currently on loan at West Ham. 30 games, 0 goals. Geoff?
Oh, tricky one, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I still like him.
So do I.
But it's a difficult one. You know, Hector Bellerin has been brilliant for us, hasn't he?
Do you think Bellerin could be moved out to a wider position and more of a midfielder? Because apparently he was a midfielder as a kid, and he has definitely got crossing and attacking ability.
Yeah,
I think he's wasted a right back.
I don't know, Danny. I think we're further forward. I think we've got to have a little bit more quality than Bellerin. I like him, don't get me wrong, but I think we can get better offensively in that position, you know, if you're going to move him further forward.
Well, Jason's quite offensive. What do you think of that, Jason?
Very good, Dan.
Thank you very much. I'm here all week.
Ta-da! I like Jenkinson. I think, as has been mentioned by Dom before, there's no harm in sending either one of Jenkinson or Bellerin out on loan next season if we're going to stick with Debussy at right back. You know, I don't see the point in selling that kid. I think he's got a future at this club. You know, it may not happen next season, but you don't know what's going to happen the season after. You know, Debussy's had 2 big injuries this season, and he's got to come back from that, and we got to see how he does. So I'd keep him at the club regardless. I wouldn't accept any money for him.
Anything on this, Kris?
Similar to the guys, really. I'm inclined to think that there's no harm in keeping all 3. I think a lot of it, to be perfectly honest, is going to come down to Carl Jenkinson. If I'm honest, you know, the manager's always said in the past that he won't kill careers of players, and if if Carl comes back to the club and says that he wants to fight for his place, then the manager's got a decision to make. But he's a young lad, you know, he's right on the edge of England recognition at full level, whatever that means. And you know, it's down to the kid. You know, does he want to play week in, week out? Because at West Ham he will, and at Arsenal he's going to have to battle back in front of Debussy and Bellerin. The one thing I would say is the timing sucks, because if Debussy was 2 years older and on the way out, much as Sanya was last summer, then you've got 2 perfect replacements. I know Dom has that view as well. We've discussed. So it's a tough one.
I see him on Jenkinson, thinking about it. I see Jenkinson as maybe a centre half later on.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, he's got the build, hasn't he?
Got plenty of pace. He's a big, tall, strong lad.
Yeah.
Actually, lads, that's a Facebook question.
Go for it, Jason.
Sorry, I've got to find it. Yeah, Abdul Ahad Jawed, sorry, I think. Sorry, Abdul. Given Jenkinson's physical build, height, and being decent on the ball, is it worth keeping him around as someone who can slot in anywhere in the back 4? Yes. Now, Geoff, would you like to elaborate, sir?
Yeah, I do. I think he's got a fantastic build. He's not, like I said, he's nice and tall. He's strong. He's got fantastic pace, which is what you need as a defender now. I don't think Arsenal will touch another defender again ever, unless he's got plenty of pace. I think what managers are doing nowadays, straight away they're looking at players, centre halves that can play the game, play football, comfortable on the ball. I think they're missing the point of looking for natural defenders first, you know, with plenty of pace and doing the defensive job. I think that's what a lot of managers are missing. Although there's not a lot out there, but you know surely there must be some proper defenders out there. So if we can convert Jenks to a centre half, I fancy he could maybe do a job there, you know. But you know, it's all pie in the sky. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? I suppose.
I think as well, guys. I mean, one of the things we've all missed out on here is the fact that as much as people are going mental over Bellerin's dropped some defensive clangers in the same way Jenkinson has in his early career. Yeah. But West Ham fans are talking about Jenkinson the same way we're talking about Bellerin. He's been great for them this season.
They rate Carlton Cole, though. So
they're 2 fullbacks, so they're players of the season, aren't they? Him and the lad from Ipswich.
Cresswell. Richard Cresswell, he's a great player, isn't he?
I love Kris.
Well, when he first come in, Jenks, he, you know, a bit of a cliche, but he hit the ground running. He done really, really well, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he got into his second season, and it seems to have dawned on him. You know, he's playing a massive club like Arsenal, and then maybe it got to his head a little bit because he lost a little bit of confidence. I hope the same thing doesn't happen to Bellerin, because he's come in, all right, he had 1 or 2 games that was a little bit shady, but then he's hit this fantastic run of form. He hasn't really been tested that much. It'd be interesting at the weekend to see who plays, Debussy or Bellerin, because then, you're playing against Eden Hazard. Yeah. So, that is a different proposition altogether. He's very, very inexperienced to be playing against a player like that.
He loves a yellow card, doesn't he?
Yeah, and that's why I think maybe Debussy will come in, because you don't want to ruin Bellerin's confidence, because, Hazard is a player that could eat, he just eats players, doesn't he,
Two quick points on that, actually. Just what you just said there, Geoff. Kieran Gibbs, I remember being ripped apart by Cristiano Ronaldo in that Champions League game, and it took him a good 2 seasons to get back from that, to get back to his sort of best performances. That's one thing. And also with the point on Bellerin, I know a lot of people have brought up, and I think they've asked a few of us in the past about this Barcelona connection and the La Masia connection. Barcelona have got a transfer ban, so don't worry about it. If it's going to happen, it's going to be for at least another year. So don't panic this summer, is what I'd say on that one.
But wouldn't it be lovely to see an Arsenal boy, a local lad, do well in Champions at the Arsenal? It would be fantastic.
Oh, it'd be lovely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, or both of them, even better.
Yeah. Hey, let's be honest. If you got, we want to get to the point where we get 2 world-class players in every position.
Absolutely, 100%. Danny, you've got some more. I'm sure there's a certain German in that list somewhere.
There's quite a few in my list. I'm just trying to find out a little bit about Austin Lippmann, but I can't. There's no stats on him anywhere. He's 18 years old. It's his second loan spell away from the club. He's going to be let go in the summer. He's with Bournemouth, who are second in the Conference South. So that's all I've got on him. No stats.
Cool.
Everyone agree that he'll be gone in the summer as soon as his contract is up.
Load again, I would suggest.
I played for Bournemouth for a little while, about 3 months.
Did you?
Yeah, and Terry Dyson, I played in midfield at that stage. Oh. But Terry Dyson, the old Tottenham player, was the manager. Nice fella. Nice fella.
Oh, good.
Who was it John Radford managed in the early 90s?
That's a shout, yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah, who was it?
I do remember that. Can't recall.
I'll have to look that up. Carry on, talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, fair
now,
enough.
the question is, G, were you good from Bournemouth, or were you not very good from Bournemouth at that time?
I was taking the piss, really, mate. I did my attitude. My attitude was bad, and overweight, and just.
Well, Big G overweight, I find that hard to believe. Carrying a few pounds.
I won't have that, mate. I won't have that. You were epic from Bournemouth, but I love the honesty. I love it.
Right, moving on. Emilio Martinez. When he played for us, he was pretty decent. He's currently an emergency loan at Rotherham in the Championships. They're 21st out of 24. He's played 5, conceded 8, but they are a shit club in no end of trouble, and they're so close to going down. Anyone? Jace, what do you think? Do you think he'll come back next season, or do you think his card's marked?
How old is he now? He's about 24 now, isn't he?
22.
22, sorry.
Yeah.
Who's this, the keeper we're talking about now?
Yeah, Martinez.
Yeah. I think he's got one more loan, and if he doesn't make an impression next season somewhere, he's gone. What do you think, G?
No, they like him. The coaches like him. Yeah, they said he's a good goalkeeper, good shot stopper. Constant. I mean, he had a couple of first-team games for us this year, didn't he?
Yeah,
was it back end of last year?
Yeah.
And he did very well when he came in, didn't he?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't see him as world class, and I think that's the problem. But
he's a youngster though. He's very young, isn't he? Again, you know what I mean? These goalkeepers don't really mature till they're 25 today, 26.
Fair play, yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm just.
By the way, it was Bishop Stortford that John Radford managed.
That's right, Bishop Stortford. Yeah.
Oh, I've probably got him in my my website thing. Anyway, so we move on. Next player. Oh, this is disappointing. Rio Miyachi. He's at FC20 in Holland, who were only champions a few years ago. They're currently 11th out of 18 teams. He's played 10 games, no goals, but in the reserves he's played 12 games and got 2 goals scored. Chris?
Well, I've got a bit of an inside track on this one. Well, I say inside track. I might be completely wrong, but speaking to a guy who's quite well informed on European football today, funnily enough, and he seems to think that there is a deal in place with an unnamed Dutch side to sign him, scheduled to basically when his loan ends.
Because that on the back of his Feyenoord time.
Yes, but he was brilliant in the Dutch league. Now he didn't. The person I spoke to didn't know who, so he said don't quote him, But yeah, apparently there is a deal in place with Arsenal to say that when he goes back, he will be he will be moved on if everything is, if all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So I do think he'll go. It's a bit of a shame actually because I think we plucked him out of a Japanese school, didn't we? He was completely out of nowhere. And I always like those kind of hipster players, just come out of nowhere and become world beaters. But
no shit.
But if you look at the competition he's got ahead of him, if Joel Campbell is being sold, there is no way Ryo Miyachi is going to stay.
Oh, well, there you go. Anyone else want to say anything on old Miyachi?
Yeah. Bring him back, play him in the Emirates Cup, sell a load more shirts to Japan, and then sell him.
Ah, well, there you go then. And while we're talking about the Dutch League, sad news for Dennis Bergkamp and Mr. De Boer. They had won 4 Dutch titles in a row, but this PSV at the weekend have just clinched the title, so that would have been Ajax's 5th, but PSV have won it by quite some way. I don't really care about Dutch football, but I do care about the bloke that we named the podcast after. So
I'll tell you what would be interesting is there's a lad at PSV, Memphis Depay, who's tearing up the Dutch league, and he's the one that's scheduled to be the next big thing out of PSV. If he goes, I wonder if Ryo Miyachi is the guy they've earmarked to replace him. Just putting that out there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he'd definitely be off. He had a good World Cup. The few games he come on and played as sub. Anyway, I'll shut up and move on. Right, here we go. One for all the listeners and the haters. Lukas Podolski. He's 29 years old. Forward, Inter Milan. Into a 10th out of 20 teams, and he's not even in their UEFA Cup squad when they were in the UEFA Cup. 12 games, no goals. Geoff?
Gone. 5 million.
Any idea who, or are you just offering?
No comment at the moment.
Jace?
Unfortunately, he's gone, isn't he? I hear there's some guys who've bought some watches recently from Hatton Garden after him. But no, it's a shame. I love old Lucas, but
well, he said in the papers recently that he's coming back next season to fight for his place.
Yeah, but he's got to say that, hasn't he?
Yeah, he said, I'm coming back season to do fuck all. He's not going to say that, is he?
Danny, I got more chance of starting for the Arsenal than Lukas Podolski.
Yeah, he's got to say all the right things now because basically Inter Milan don't want him. So he's got to now say all the correct things to get himself, he doesn't want to appear to be a troublemaker. If you look at when he signed for Inter Milan, he said, "Oh, I'm here. I want to be the next Javier Zanetti. I want to make an imprint in this club." And
Javier Zanetti.
And as soon as Mancini came in and didn't play him, he's then like, "Oh yeah, I'm quite happy to go back to Arsenal. I still see a future there." And it's all politics. Unfortunately, I like Lukas Podolski, and he's going to be one of those players that goes down in the history of football that's won a World Cup. But ultimately never quite did it at the top level, which is the most weird thing to say in the world. But he's loved by the German national team because he seems to get goals every time he plays for them. But at club level, Bayern Munich, he never quite did it. He's never quite done it with us.
Yeah, but
I think Jeff's right.
Don't you think maybe tactics overtook his career because of the type of player he is?
To a degree, because he's known for the shooting, isn't he? He's known for the hammer of a left foot, and I think that the game's moved on from players like him.
But I just see, he'd have been a great second striker.
Oh God, yeah. In a 2, he would have got goals everywhere. Absolutely.
And the problem is because everybody's gone one man up top.
Exactly, it's not his game, is it? He doesn't play with his back to goal.
He wants to go there to be the next Javier Zanetti. He's struggling if he'd be the next Diego Forlan for Inter Milan.
But Jace is absolutely right. If you put him in a 2 with a Mauro Icardi that Inter have got as a big sort of rangy, attacking centre forward.
He ain't staying there for long, though, is he?
No, of course he's not. But if you did, I think he would, or even a Palacio. They're different types of players. I think he would get goals.
His non-symmetrical bloody ponytail.
With his
going on with that?
His Jedi haircut.
Oh.
But yeah, I think Geoff is 100% right. I think he's gone. Turkey has been long talked about as his next.
Galatasaray.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually be surprised to see him go back to Germany. I don't think Cologne could afford him, but obviously that's his home club. That's where he wants to be, and he went back to a while ago. But I'm not sure if they could afford it. But yeah,
okay, next player. Yeah.
Go on, post,
no
post,
goals. So everybody said he would go to Crystal Palace and show what a good player he is. He's 21 years old, forward, 9 games, no goals. Any wise words on this, Geoff?
I think he's gone to make a cuppa.
No, I'm here. I'm back.
He's back.
No wise words at all. I think he'll stay for the meantime. He'll go out on loan again.
What, to Royal Mail? have they got a team?
Yeah, well, listen, we was all saying very, very similar about Giroud a couple of years ago. You've got to be very, very careful. You never know. He's only a youngster. What is he, 21?
Yes, he's 21.
Plenty of time. I can't see it, but, we'll have to see, won't we? I know one thing. Yeah. We won't do our money on him.
What, the free transfer we got him for?
Exactly.
Well, I think we had to pay a little bit of compensation, about 300 grand. Well, what's that? That's nothing.
Yeah, we'll turn him into 2 or 3 million at least, won't we? I'm sure.
You got any Welsh justice on this, Jace?
Yeah, do you know what? He's hard working. He's a trier. Get him back out on loan next season. I don't know where.
Premier League or Championship?
Whoever will take him.
He was brilliant for the French under-21. So
yeah, and you look at it. He made a big impact in our FA Cup final last season. I don't care what anybody said. He helped us win that game, and he was a contributor. But I would love to see him do well. He needs to get his coordination sorted. He's got good heart. I hope it works out for the boy. I'd love to see him be a success at the Arsenal. I would love to.
Kris?
I like Yost. Again, it's another one of those that I want him to come good because I like the lad, and he seems to say the right things and he seems to enjoy being at the club. So I hope so. I think he needs another loan, if I'm honest, because I think Arsenal are short of another centre forward, which may or may not come in the summer, possibly. He's not going to get in ahead of Welbeck, so if we bring him back to the club, he's only going to go back into the reserves, back into the under-21s, which ultimately isn't going to really help his development. So I'd like to see him go on loan. I know people have said he hasn't done much at Palace, but he hasn't really played. So
I think the previous manager got him in, didn't he? And
exactly.
He
said all the right things, but he hasn't really. Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of Glenn Murray, but he's been banging form. You couldn't drop him, so why would you? And the way they play with Gale or Balassi and Zaha either side of a Gale or a Glenn Murray, he's kind of third in the pecking order, which is exactly what he'd be at Arsenal. So I'd like to see him. Do you know what I'd like to see? If a team like a Bournemouth or a Brentford come up, perfect. A team that comes up, they've got no pressure, or like a Burnley type of club, they've got little money, they just need a big centre forward. I'd like to see that, or even a loan somewhere like Scotland, just where he can get used to the rough and tumble.
But isn't the problem is he's not getting goals, and that's the issue for him. Okay, if he's with the Bournemouth in the Premier League, he's got no hope of getting goals. He's got no hope. I'd rather send him out to Spain or back to France for a bit.
Yeah, but the trouble with doing that, Jace, is that you're not really helping his development, because if you send him back to France, which obviously was on the table in January with Bordeaux, and the club chose not to, it's not really helping his development, because what he needs to do is get used to Premier League football, or at the very least British football. And that's, he's got time to turn on the ball in France because it's a slower league. I think when you're in our league, you don't get that time, which is where you've seen this Bambi on ice type thing, because he's turning into trouble.
But sorry, Kris, he's got a bit of experience in the Premier League. He's seen it. He understands it more. A couple of goals under his belt, you never know. I mean, I can't see it. I can't see it, but I'd like it to happen for him. I really would.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look at the Crystal Palace reserves, and he's not even playing in the reserves, so it's not like he's getting goals at a lower level. I think if he went to somewhere maybe like Celtic, he'd get 60, 70 goals a season, and much like Anthony Stokes did when he was on loan at Falkirk, and the other one goal a game for a rubbish player. Right, we need to move this on a little bit. Time's catching us up. 2.5 more players. Wellington Silva, 21-year-old forward, on loan at Almeria in Spain, La Liga. 17th out of 20 positions, 22 games. 0 goals, Geoff.
Well, I think he's got a passport now.
So have I.
So at least he can come back and play football for Arsenal.
Yeah, you can join him at Palace.
I think they'll have a look at him in the summer and then decide in the summer. I think he'll get a chance, very much like Joel Campbell. Whether it be this next season or the season after, I'm not sure, but I think he'll get a chance. I mean, we've waited about 3 years, is it now already?
He's had five consecutive loans.
Yeah, so I think he'll get a chance, and we'll have to see what happens, see what he does when he gets over. It's a different league over here. It's difficult, isn't it?
So far He's played for Fluminense in Brazil, 5 loans and a few games. He's not even played a single game for us. 115 games, 11 goals. And that's not any kind of ratio, is it, Chris? Go on, you go.
I was just going to say, the one thing that I think might count against him at Arsenal, from again,
can't kick a ball.
No, just from what I've heard and what I've read, there's apparently seems to be a bit of an attitude problem.
I did hear that. Same with Joel Campbell.
Exactly. So I'm wondering if perhaps
too much too soon.
Yeah, well, like Geoff said, it might be a case that they might bring him back in the summer, and they might let him train with the first team and take him on the Asian tour or wherever it is we're going this year, and just have a look at him. But I mean, passport or no passport, he doesn't strike me as a Carlos Vela, and he was very quickly out the door. So I don't think he'll make it at all, if I'm honest.
Jace?
No idea, never seen him play, don't care.
Fair enough. Okay, one up note here. John Terral, who
just
was
him.
the Spanish sensation. It was him, Bellerin, and one other Spanish kid. Bless you.
Thank you.
So he's an attacking midfielder. He's 19 years old. He's on loan at Brentford, who are doing wonders in the Championship. They're 7th. They can still make the playoffs. I can hear buzzing. Who's doing stuff? Jace.
Jace is buzzing.
Oh, hello.
It was me, sorry.
Right, he's played 28 games, scored 6 goals, and doing not too bad. Geoff, what do you know about him?
He's another player that the coaches like, but again, it's you're talking about positions that we're now looking for world-class players that are going to play every game. True. It's going to be really, really difficult for him to break through. Another one that come out of the Barcelona, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult for the lad. It really is. But if he's good enough, he's young enough.
He's got bags of talent, by the way. Bags of talent.
I think injury was the only thing that's held him back so far. He was out for the best part of a year, but he was the most talented player in our youth ranks. They said since the old backstabber days.
Do you know what I honestly think with John Terral is I think it's between him and Dan Crowley as to who's going to take that.
Crowley for me.
Because if you look at when Jack Wilshere came through, it was a similar story then. You looked at Jack Wilshere and you went, well, how the hell is he going to get in this midfield? And all of a sudden, he was in it. So I think, Geoff will probably know more than I do, but from what the reports I've heard and from the tittle-tattle you hear about people who watch the reserves, like Geoff said, the manager and the staff think a lot of him. And I just think it just depends on how quickly Crowley or Terral develop, and maybe even the other boy. Is it Chris Willock? I think he's another one in that sort of position. I think it just depends upon which one of those develops at a faster rate. The one thing Terrell's got on his side, of course, is he's been on loan and he's played games, which is one up on the other two who've only played at youth level. So it'd be interesting to watch that.
Okay, so final player. This isn't much to say about this. Josh Vickers, goalkeeper, on loan at Concord Rangers, which is the Conference South, which for people who don't know is like Division 6, which is split into North and South. 27 games he's played for them, and they're currently 7th out of 21 teams in that league, so I doubt very much anyone's got anything to say about him.
No.
Nope.
Nothing against the bloke, but there's no real stats. You can't really go by anything. Usually if you're loaned out to that kind of level, you're not really going to be pushing for first team place when you come back, have you? Here we go, here's a little stat for you all. We have 4 forwards out on loan. Between them, this season, for other teams, they've played 59 games. They've scored 0 goals.
There you go. And by the way, at least we do the loan system the correct way, rather than the Chelsea approach or the Man City approach where they just buy everybody and send them out on loan. And no, well, less said about that, the better.
Well, there you go. That's all the loan stuff done.
Perfect. Well, that was a nice little way. I'm conscious of time. I've got another little segment I want to run through you with, but just before we sort of close off,
run through you with. That's a bit Welsh.
Run through you with, isn't it, boy? Terrible accent. Sorry, Jace. I just want to very quickly go through you all. I've done it again. Go across each one of your views on this. I want to know where you think we'll finish. If you look at the run-in, Danny, I'm sure you've got the fixtures in front of you.
Certainly do.
Brilliant. Well, I'll tell you what, read us the fixtures Arsenal got left home and away, and then we'll go to each person, see if they've changed their views on where we'll finish.
Chelsea away, Chelsea home.
Yep.
Hull away.
Yep.
Swansea home, Man United away, Sunderland home, West Brom home, and virtually Aston Villa at home.
Cool. You said pre-season you thought we'd finish 5th, was it?
Certainly did.
Have you changed your views on this?
I'm 6th.
6th. Brilliant. Okay. Jace?
Well, that was before we signed Bloody Sanchez, a one-man team.
Yeah. Jace,
No, it wasn't. It was we signed.
You shut up.
Pre-season, wasn't it? Yes, yeah. We
Prove
know you, GFP. We know you.
Oh,
Pre-season on the transfer deadline day pod, I said we'd finish first. Unfortunately, that seems highly, 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 highly unlikely now. So it looks like second. But we've got to kick on. We've got to continue the form we've had over the last 8 games, and claim that second place.
Fair enough. And Geoff, what was your? I can't remember that far back.
Third. I said third behind Man City.
Yep.
And I thought Liverpool was going to come fourth, but it doesn't look like likely now. I do think we can finish second. We've got to concentrate though, because we've still got a few difficult games there to go. But I think we'd be all right. I think we'd be comfortably second.
Good stuff. I'll draw a line into that. I said third pre-season. A lot of people laughed at me, as I'm sure they did you, Geoff. But no, I think we'll end up second. Weirdly. And I'd like us to be in a position where we don't have to worry about Old Trafford. That's all I'll say on that one. I'd like us to be able to go there knowing it doesn't matter if we lose 47-0. I want us to have it pretty much tied up by then. So that starts on Sunday, doesn't it?
Certainly does.
Okay, right. So the final segment tonight, before we do a couple of questions, which I must admit will be cut short tonight because we're conscious of time. But thank you as always. I want to reference a certain thing that our chief blogger, Mr. Geoff Hullenfrund, has been doing.
Hello, Geoff.
Anyone that's been reading his excellent blogs recently will know about this. It's a little segment called Stick or Twist.
I print them up and colour them in.
I join the dots. So what I'd like to do is I've got 6 questions in front of me. I want you to keep your answers fairly short and punchy, which is why I'm not taking part. I'm going to ask you all a question. I'm going to ask you all 2 questions, one each, basically. Or 2 between each of you, I should say. And I just want your very quick views, and then at the end of your statement, I want you to say whether, or start, whichever you prefer, whether you'd stick or whether you'd twist, and the reasons for. Okay, so I'm going to start with you, Jace. Question 1 there. The rumours are that Wanyama is the latest target for the media for the Arsenal in the summer. My question to you, Coquelin and Arteta, or bring in new blood? Do you stick or twist?
I twist. I think the one thing that Coquelin has shown us is that it's not so much about experience in that position, although that does play a part, but his athleticism and his pace has been the big thing. If Arteta had the legs and the athleticism, I'd say fine, but he hasn't, and he's of an age now, so twist.
Cool. Perfectly done. Good timing, thank you. Geoff, next one's for you. The forward line. Much has been made of only having Olivier Giroud and Danny Welbeck as our options. Come the summer, do you add to what we have, or do you stay as we are? Stick or twist on that one?
I think if someone becomes available, then I think he would purchase. But I don't think someone will become available that's going to add to the squad, so to speak, up front. So I think we'll stick.
Good stuff. No worries. Danny, you're up next.
Yes.
This question for you is Jurgen Klopp, our good friend Jurgen, the current Dortmund manager, soon not to be. He'll be leaving his post at the end of the season. That was confirmed this week. Would you look to have him over Arsene Wenger now, or would you be happy to let him go elsewhere and stick to what we've got? So stick or twist on that one.
Can I have a sticky twist? And have a bit of both?
Nope, you can have one or the other. So think very carefully.
Keep Wenger.
Oh, the worm has turned.
Well, if people want to go back and listen to the Steve's Ball Collective, I say this every time as Geoff's on. He was on the beginning of 2013. He said, "You mark my words, 2015 is when we all start coming together. We're going to finish runners-up in the league. We're going to win back-to-back FA Cups. Hashtag Geoff knows." So I want to stick with Geoff.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's come back to you then, Jace. The formation, we started the season in a 4-1-4-1, adapted to a 4-2-3-1, and now it appears that a 4-3-2-1, and now it appears that we're back to a 4-2-3-1 again. How would you like this going into the start of next season? Would you like us to be kept in a 4-2-3-1, or do you want to see some experiments done again? Stick or twist?
It's going to depend who we bring in the summer, isn't it? You know, what players do we get rid of? What players do we bring in? In all honesty, that's totally dependent on personnel. So I say twist.
Cool, no problem at all. Good one for you, Geoff. Bit of a doozy, this one. High-profile departures. It's been a number of summers since Arsenal had to sell one of their big stars. In fact, that chap at Manchester was probably the last one. But with rumours rife of any of Chesney, Walcott, or even Wilshere potentially being sold, would you look to keep what we have and build on it, or would you look to sell on and upgrade? Do you stick or twist on that one? Hello, Geoff?
I'm sorry, I thought I was talking to you, but I had my mute on. I do beg your pardon.
That's called doing a Gimli intro.
Danny will know that work his magic. Oh, fuck it, leave it in there. It's no
Right, we will leave it.
No, what was I going to say? I even forgot what I was going to say there and all that. No, you know what? I think all them boys will stay, and I think we'll upgrade as well.
Ooh, controversial. So you're kind of sticking... Well, you are sticking, aren't you? You stick with what we got. Okay, interesting.
Didn't Wenger say that from now on we've got all this money that we will buy one big signing every season?
He did, but he didn't say how many would go as well. So I suppose it's open to debate. But that's an interesting answer. Thank you, Geoff. Final one after your own heart here, Danny. Save this one for you. Tradition and money. With confirmation from Puma that Arsenal will have 3 new kits this summer, two of which have been leaked apparently. Are you in favour of the traditional colours of red and white home and yellow and navy away, or are you happy to see us quote unquote build the brand and experiment a little? You stick or twist?
You mean fuck with history?
Yes, whatever you want to call it.
We should have a red and white kit for home. Yellow and blue kit for away, no wanky 3rd, 4th, 5th kits, and we should change the kits every 4 seasons.
I agree.
So Puma, stick it up your arse.
I agree, Danny. Well said.
Thank you very much, Geoff.
Fair enough. So I think it's safe to say that you would rather stick to tradition.
I am going to wear tradition, tattoo it on my head.
Splendid. Well, that was a nice little light-hearted way to sort of finish off that segment. So thank you to Geoff. As in Mr. Hollandfriend, for that superb idea.
And if people want to go and read his blog,
please do. I'll give him a shout at the end. I'll direct people.
I love that, because Geoff's a lovely man, and he doesn't smell of bacon like I thought.
He's a wonderful man.
He smells of maple and loveliness.
He does.
And he has the world's greatest chuckle.
Yes, he does, yes. It never fails to make me smile.
Nor me.
Right, okay then. So, final thing before we get to Twitter and Facebook questions. Predictions and a brief preview for Chelsea. So, that lot come across London on Sunday. I think I'm of the opinion that it's our best chance in a number of years to go at them, and maybe Arsenal can get that victory over Mourinho. So let's start with you, Danny. Brief couple of words and your prediction for Sunday, please.
Apparently Chelsea have got no strikers. Technically, when Drogba was playing, they had no strikers anyway, because I'd do better up front than he will. I think Maureen's going to come to our place. He's going to go and hire extra coaches, park them all in front of the goal, and it is going to be a shit boring 0-0.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Geoff, what do you reckon, mate?
Well, anti-football rolls into town, doesn't it? Mourinho, he'll stink the gaff out. We're going to need to score first if we're going to win the game, but I think it's going to be a draw. I think they just know what they got to do, and they're just going to systematically foul like they normally do, and cheat and scratch and bitch all the way through the game. I hate Chelsea. Trust me.
I hate them.
Cool. Did you say a score then? I missed that. Sorry.
A draw, 1-1.
Draw 1-1. Cool.
And scorer, so I can make a note of it, so I don't have to bug you in the week.
Do I have to answer that question?
Mr. Giroud!
Hey, boom.
Lovely.
Jace, what do you reckon, mate?
I think we have to attack this game as we did the Liverpool game, really hardy them up top. I think if we hardy them the way we harried Liverpool, I don't think they're that comfortable in possession. I think Terry, Cahill, there's a mistake in them. I always think we can win, so I'm going to go 2-0 Giroud.
Cool beans.
Because I think if we grab the first goal, they're going to have to come at us. And I don't think they're strong up top. And then I think we can catch them on the break, because the pace of Sanchez, Welbeck, Theo, whoever you put out, and the passing ability of Ozil, I just think we've got a performance in us.
Yep. Fair shout. Danny, for my money, I will go against the grain. I'll go 3-1. I think Geoff's right. We need to score
3-1
to us.
Fucking
I'm confident.
hell.
I've never been more confident going into a game against Chelsea than I am at the moment.
Have you been eating your own?
If I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up.
You'll be holding your hands up a lot. I want jazz hands as well as holding them up.
No, I'll stick with it. I think 3-1. I do think we need to score first, so I will go with who's not bagged for a while.
Chesney.
I'll go with Aaron Ramsey, first scorer.
Oh, the Welsh legend, and I don't mean you, Jace.
There we go.
Oh, charming.
Perfect. Right.
I do mean you.
That draws a line under that. So, final thing before we go to our shout-outs and whatever is a couple of questions. I'm conscious of time, so let's pick out some of the best ones. I've been tweeted 54,000 questions, so I do apologise if yours is not read this week. Thank you all anyway. Jay, should we start with Facebook, mate?
Okay, we're going to have a fun one first, and it's from Matt Hulk Mountford, and from the name, you're going to guess what the question's about. Which of the Avengers would you like to sign for the Arsenal, and in which position? Danny.
Oh dear, I do like these films, but I know nothing about them. I think I'd have Thor, because it would remind me of our very own Mr. Carpenter, and I'd play them in every position. Rush goalkeeper.
Sweet. Okay. Kris.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. Ask Geoff. Let me think about it.
Geoff.
I don't watch the Avengers, but I'd say the lady.
You want Purdy?
I'd play her in the bath.
Can I say the same as Geoff? Because I'm really not a superhero-y type of guy, so I don't really know how to answer that. Sorry.
I'll answer this properly, Matt.
Go on.
And it's going to be the Hulk, and I play him instead of Coquelin, and he fucks shit up. So there you go.
Okay,
but would we see him on the green pitch, though?
Ooh.
Exactly.
Wouldn't be a camouflage.
Exactly, he's the camouflage assassin.
I love that song, Camouflage. You remember that, Geoff?
Yes. Whoa.
Maybe we should end it in that.
It's one of my granddad's favourite songs, God rest his soul.
Oh, I love that song.
Loved it.
Well, we should have that as the end song.
He was an awfully big marine. Anyway, moving on. Next one, Jason.
Oh, me again. Right.
Let's do all Facebook first, and then we'll...
Okay, there's a couple of guys I just want to shout out quickly. Frederick Donnell and...
Danish legend or Swedish, one of the two.
Yeah,
Swedish, I think.
Sorry, what else is there? Robert Clegg. And everybody else asks questions, but those two, can you ask these questions again next week, please? Because they're really good questions. We don't have time to look at them now. Todd Wade has asked us about Fabregas coming back to the Emirates. And he's described it as your best mate bringing home your ex-girlfriend. You're not sure whether cry or punch him. No, I'd always go punch the shit. You hit first, ask questions later. But there's been a thing about how do we treat Fabregas. Geoff, your opinion. Do you boo him? Do you give him the silent treatment? What do you do?
I don't think you do anything. You just leave him to do what he's got to do. I just wouldn't acknowledge him. I think he's a fantastic player, Cesc. I loved him at our club, but he's gone. I wouldn't make any. The more you start booing him or doing what you don't. I don't think you've got to laud him. Leave it because he's left the club and that's it. But there's no good. Leave it. Don't boo him. Just leave him. Just he's irrelevant now to Arsenal Football Club. Just get on with it. Let's just hope that Coquelin smashes into him in the first 5 minutes and he's got to go off.
Do you know what? I totally agree because the silence kills them even more. Yeah. You know, the vitriol and the hatred of booing just riles people up, but silence is the real killer. Christopher?
Kind of with Geoff pretty much all the way through. The only thing to add to it really is I still appreciate what what he gave to us when he was here. I think it's very easy just to poo-poo that. We'd be hypocritical if we said we didn't appreciate what he did when he was in the red and white. But yeah, like Geoff said, he's moved on. He's from my mind, he's crossed over to the other side, literally. He might as well be dead because I couldn't give a monkeys about him. But I hope he has an off day. He tends to run out of fuel at this time of the season, so let's hope it continues.
Danny.
I think it's time to bring back ex-Arsenal legend Dave Hillier, who is now tatted up, MMA trained and fitter than ever to come on and fuck him up.
I got to be honest here, the day he put that Barca shirt on when he was an Arsenal player, he was fucking dead to me. I hope the cunt's ankles go.
Yeah, and they are the views.
There we go, yeah. There we are.
That is official ABW policy.
That is, fuck him.
Right, that's Facebook. Thank you to everyone. Sorry, guys. So sorry. It's a couple of weeks now. We haven't had a chance to ask more, but they are appreciated. You're all top geezers and girls. Please keep them coming. And please.
Perhaps if we have a quiet week, we'll just do a week where we do a lot of questions. Maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Can't we?
Good shout, that.
Too much glory.
Too much glory.
We're too good. 9 wins in a row.
Well, okay.
17 wins in 19, I think it is, Danny, now.
Bloody hell.
It's not too shocking, is it, lads?
Bit of a
It's
record,
alright.
that, isn't it, for a loser and a French CU, whatever you... True, isn't it?
Yeah, it's, you know what I mean? I love Arsene Wenger. Nobody's bigger than the club, but bloody hell. I do think he's made mistakes, but fair play to him. He can put out a team that plays some football, can't he?
Keep the faith.
Yeah.
We're not ending it on that. Shit song. Okay, right. Do you want some Twitter questions?
Yeah. I've got a couple here. Do you want to do a few and I'll do a few?
Okay. Pete Gooner. Why do we still have a banner of Fabregas and not David Rocastle? Now, if you go and have a look on the podcast timeline, you will see that Ty and Claude from AFTV are standing outside there, and there's a big banner of Fabregas still blowing in the wind there. Why the fuck is that still there? Do you have any idea, Geoff? Because none of us do.
It's on the Ken Fryer Bridge, apparently. Not the Ken Fryer. You know what? I think he was
near one of them.
Yeah, yes, right. I'm getting it wrong, but apparently he was good friends with Ken Fryer, and Ken Fryer wanted the poster of Fabregas out there. You know what? It's a strange one, isn't it? Really, because he does play for a rival now. It's not as if he won leagues and cups all the way through his career with Arsenal to make him a legend, so to speak. So it's a strange one. I would definitely take it down. His time.
Geoff, to be honest as well, he went on strike. He went, I'm sorry, he fucked us over. And all these little fanboys who want him back, I've never understood it. He was a good servant to the club. I respect him for the time.
For half a season at a time.
No, come on, he came to us young and he put in some great performances. But the day he put that fucking jersey on, and the day he'd rather go to a fucking Grand Prix than play for the Arsenal, he can go fuck himself.
Get off the fence.
Make your Welsh justice views more transparent.
He's got a point.
Don't be funny, lads, okay? What do you want them to do? Do you allow him to bend us over the table and shove his fist up us? Fuck me.
There you go, back to feeling the pulse.
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
bet there's been more swear words, right, in the last 10 minutes than there has in the last 10 podcasts.
I'm sorry,
Probably.
G, but you mentioned
It's all right, I
that
don't mind.
snake.
I thought we was trying to clean it up a little bit.
We
this
were,
act.
until you mentioned the C word to Davies.
Nobody mentioned any other players that have left. We'll never end.
Okay, okay. The Orpheus Jones asked one about Seth should be shown respect. We've been through that. Aaron Anthony says, we know Wenger gives players many chances. If a new manager came in with no ties to players, who do you think would be gone? I think half the team. I think that's too much of an in-depth question to answer in any short time. If you had to pick 2 players that, if Klopp took over this summer, 2 players that would be out the window, I think it would be Szczesny would be out on his arse. And who else is not doing very well? I think maybe a few of the older players, maybe Arteta.
I don't know. He's the sort of player I think he'd like because he likes Sebastian Cahill.
Boys. Szczesny, gone. Arteta, Flamini, Podolski, Campbell, Diaby, gone.
I think you've answered for everybody there. Anyone want to say anything of that, or should I move on to a next quick one?
Crack on.
All right, Shabs, who says, who would you sign aged 23, Bergkamp, Henry or Vieira? Oh, that's a good one, Geoff.
A difficult one, but you can't look further than Dennis Bergkamp, mate. Brilliant. Genius. Best ever.
Oh, I mean, I agree with you, but when we could do with Henry's goals, we could do with Vieira's stealing midfield, but I think it's got to be Bergkamp because he's just perfect. Until he had that dodgy season, I gave him 4, shouted at him, told him to sort his life out, and he did.
It's all down to you.
Ray Parlour.
Romford Pele.
I can't answer that. I can't. Sorry.
Go on, Kris.
Again, it's tough. I'm kind of with Geoff on this one. I love Thierry, I love Patrick, but Dennis was just, he was just wonderful, wasn't he?
As Jason's he's all riled up. This is one just for him from Harry. Name 3 Arsenal players that could fight Costa, Ivanovic, and Ramirez to the death. I don't know if he means current or past.
I'll do it.
Go on then.
I'll fight him. I'll fight the ball.
He'll beat him to death with his flip flops.
Oh, funny enough, I got them on now.
Oh, look at you. That's one for the ladies.
Sorry about that.
You got a question then, Kris?
Yeah, I just got a couple that I'll rattle through. Again, apologies. Loads of people have sent me tweets while I've been
got to
training,
ask one from Instagram when you've done as well. We've only had one. It's our first ever Instagram question.
Oh, we've got to do that then. Okay, I want to pick out one from Carl, that London guy, who sent us quite a few, so I just want to give you guys one of them. I'll just ask one each. That's the easiest way. Jace, one for you. We touched on it earlier. But why do you think Wenger likes to play players out of position? And he's highlighted Aaron Ramsey wide right and Ozil wide left. Why do you think he likes to do that?
I think he likes to give players a different perspective on the pitch, first and foremost to develop them. For Ozil, I think he thought he could work because he's played it with Germany and so forth. With Ramsey currently on the right-hand side, I think he wants the steel and that engine that Rambo has to get back and forth. Also, he trusts these players, and that's the reason for it.
Fair enough. Next one for you, Geoff. With Sunday in mind, would you like to see the team go into... This is from Jason Erasmus in South Africa, by the way. He says, would you like to see us go into Sunday in a more structured setup that we last saw in the 2 Manchester away performances, or would you like to see it sort of go all guns blazing in the normal attacking style of play that we're used to seeing at home?
No, you can't play Chelsea in all guns blazing. We've seen what happened to us in the past when we've done that. No, you've got to be a little bit more reserved. We can definitely win the game, but you know what? We should really spin it round, and as long as we don't get beat, we need a point out of this game at least. We mustn't get beat. It's very, very important.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And I've got the last one I'm going to do, which was an excellent one. It's a bit of a long one, but bear with me, from Janice M. Shaheen. And the question is, he said, I once heard Geoff say on a podcast with Blackburn George that he'd rather play football our way than the Chelsea way. Is that the downfall of the club? Yes, we all love our nice, slick style passing and play, but is it not proven to be successful? But it's not proven to be successful for a while. Atletico won the league last year with an opposing style, and Chelsea will this year. Our first glimpse of it was when we beat City away from home. Is it time to get rid of the Arsenal style of play and come up to speed with Chelsea and Atletico now? That's for you, Geoff. And he also says, #Davies for Pirates manager. Never going to happen, mate. Sorry. Geoff, what do you reckon?
No, we are never ever going to change the way. Listen, Arsene Wenger, he wants to entertain the fans, right? He knows it's the entertainment business, and he wants to entertain the supporters. He will never ever sacrifice. He definitely won't totally change the way that we play. We'll still be an offensive team, but we will definitely tweak every now and again, like we've seen in the City game and a few games this season. It will definitely tweak it. But that's all about the personnel. If you've got the right personnel to do it, you can do it. If you don't have the right personnel, you've got to stick to what you know. And 9 out of 10, we win more games than we lose playing the way we play. And I would nowhere in the world like to see us turn into a Mourinho side or a Diego Simeone side. That's why I don't think Diego Simeone will ever be any good in the Premier League, because really, who would want to watch that football every single week? It would bore the pants off you.
Couldn't agree more. Geoff, I just got one more for you that I forgot about that I just wanted to ask you in particular, if I may. And this comes from Luke Barras. There's also someone else mentioned it, which I'll look for in a second, but he says there's the rumours this week or the last couple of days about Diaby potentially being offered a new contract in form of a pay-as-you-play deal. Do you think that is something the club that will do? And if so, do you think it's the right decision?
Oh, I think the lad's broken. I really do. I just think he's broken to, I don't think he's capable of playing professional football at a top level anymore. I wish he was, because he's outstanding, the kid. He was brilliant, wasn't he? But at the end of the day, you've got to think about Arsenal Football Club. I just think he's broken, and they'll give him a chance. But if he can't really get some really good game time, whether it be under 21s between now and the end of the season, if he keeps on breaking down, then I think he's maybe going to have to leave the club. It's a shame, but that's it.
Fair enough. Line under that one. Danny, the final question then from Instagram.
Certainly, and thanks to our very own Tom for sorting out the Instagram stuff. It's coming along leaps and bounds. This is from KJP1960. He asks, if our arrogant keeper leaves in the summer, do we buy or stick with Ospina and Martinez? I think that we should stick. Well, actually, no, we can't. Can we? Do need two first-team players, so we're going to have to buy someone. Chris?
Yeah, we kind of covered it earlier on when I was saying to Geoff about whether we bring in another first choice.
It's our only Instagram question.
Oh yeah, no, I'll answer it.
Our first one ever.
No, I will answer it.
Make something up.
For me,
get rid of them all.
For me, stick to Ospina. I like him. I think the defence is calmer when he's there. I think he's a decent quality keeper. He's an international, and I don't think. I know Jason's not a big fan, but I don't think anyone could judge one keeper on 6 months of first team football. So give him the shirt, keep him. As for backup, I'd like to see. Do you remember when we had Mark Poom?
Yes, the Latvian legend.
Yeah, or when we had Guillaume Vermouth. I'd like to see a sort of keeper of their kind of age come in. Just somebody who's going to... Do you know what I'd go and get? Roman Weidenfeller. He's coming to the end of his career. He's going to leave. He's probably going to leave Dortmund in the summer, because Klopp has pretty much said that when he goes a lot, we'll go with him. I think much in the same way that Big Jens did. I think Weidenfeller is of the suitable quality that will push Ospina all the way. But he'd be a brilliant backup, and even if he ended his career as a coach, I think he'd be excellent. So that's what I'd do. No, I think Schwarzer, I think he's just that little bit too old now. I think the time came when we had the chance to get him from Fulham and we didn't. So, no, leave him at Leicester, get Weidenfeller in and give Ospina the number one shirt.
Either of you two likely lads got anything to add to that? I don't.
Nope.
Yeah, check. End of.
Done.
We ain't going to get Loris, by the way, so people need to just stop talking about that.
Are you doing a carpenter?
No,
yes.
no. I'm going to wrap things up, actually. So.
Ooh, look at you being all in control and shit.
I know. Ooh, dominant.
Half hour day.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, that's pretty much all we have this evening, apart from shout-outs or gentlemen's nudges or nods or whatever it is you call them, Danny. I don't know.
I'm not 14, so I can't do a shout-out.
Okay, well, whatever you want to do, you can do whatever you like. I'll do mine after your guys. So, Jace, do you want to give somebody a shout-out or a nudge or whatever?
Yeah, I do. Calvin Masterson, at Calvin Masterson. He's a good guy, Calvin. Whether you agree or disagree with him, he's a gentleman and he's a decent fella. You can have a good discussion with him. You don't have to agree with him. You don't have to think. But, don't abuse him. He's a good guy. And I like Calvin. So, hello, Calv.
And his blog is still up on our site. Remember, he did it from a neutral point of view, and he used logic in it. And didn't necessarily agree with one side or the other, but he gave both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Geoff, you got anybody you'd like to give a shout to?
Yes, indeed. There was a couple of days ago. There was a fantastic piece in the Guardian about Arsene Wenger, and it caused a bit of an uproar with some supporters. It turns out I've been in conversation with the author of it, who turns out he's an Arsenal fan. He's only a young guy, but he writes for the Guardian. I urge you to go and look at this piece because it's a fantastic piece. It's in my favourites, I think, on Twitter. So have a look at it. And his Twitter name is A.M. Corley, Corley. Brilliant piece, well worth a read. Go and have a look at it.
And they do by far the greatest podcast on football ever.
Very good. Yes, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I am going to read that because I've heard a lot of things about it, so I'll definitely do the same.
Ask him to come on, Geoff.
Yeah, good point.
A very good shout. Yeah, we'll do.
We've had worse. I mean, Jace has been on 3 weeks in a row, so... Love you, Jay.
Well,
Jeez, you're going to pay for that later.
He got a lot of stick from a few of the guys. I should imagine a lot of people know him, but because he only supported Arsenal since, I don't know, 6 or 8 years or something like that, you know. As if you got to be. No one took any notice. He didn't get any credit from these guys because he had only supported Arsenal for 6 or 8 years, or
you got to start sometime or another.
Less than a decade. What a lot of old bollocks that was.
Yeah, I think
language, Geoff.
I'd like to think I speak for the majority when I say that I don't give a shit if you supported the club for 165 years or 24 minutes. You're all welcome.
Or where you live.
Yeah, or where you live. We're all chanting. We're all cheering for the same team. We all want the same thing. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
We're all the same.
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely. Right, Danny, shouts anybody you'd like to mention?
Yes, I put on the podcast Twitter account, I said, what drink am I drinking? I'm surprised my mate Anna didn't get it because she's usually the one who puts all the Pepsi Max in the fridge. The first two to get it was Jack M. Jones, who is at Jack M. Jones 99, and the second one who was moaning, so I thought I might as well let it. No, actually Ben come first, Jack come second. So the first one was Ben, who is at the 98 Gooner. So it looks like a couple of whippersnappers.
Might be Ben. He's good lad. Ben's a top man.
The 98 Gooner?
Yeah, he's top man, Ben.
He actually won it, and I told him the 50 grand first prize is coming out of your pocket.
50 quid.
Again?
Yeah.
50 quid.
50 pence.
50 pence.
50 lira. Yeah, that's all me done.
Okay, cool. Right, just a couple from me. The any other business... We've already shouted out Geoff and the bloggers. So Geoff Hollandfriend, is it at the Bergie Bloggers? Christ, that's caught me out, hasn't it? Hang on, let me get it absolutely right. So
you don't have to do that. It's that the Bergie Blogs.
Oh, it's right. Okay, at the Bergie Blogs. There you go. Excellent columns. I think Drew has had one posted this week. We have our guest blog every couple of weeks, as well as the guys Jake and Chimp and Geoff and Simon. So do give their stuff a read, give the Twitter account a follow,
and always interact with the Stick or Twist, because you can the listeners or the readers click on Stick or Twist and it tells you how many people agree with you.
Absolutely, and
interactive.
And for that, by the way, please do give us feedback on whether you enjoyed us having Stick or Twist on the pod tonight, because if it's something you enjoyed, then we'll ask Mr. Gimli to see if we can get it back again. We'll see how it goes.
iTunes feedback.
iTunes, yes, please leave us an iTunes review. They're very, very helpful, and they get us extra opportunities for people to listen. I think I'm right in saying it spreads the word further and wider. So please do give us an iTunes review if it's a nice one, please.
If it's not, then don't bother.
No, if it's not, bugger off.
We'll find out where you live.
We'll hunt you down. Danny will do things in your flower bed.
I'll have a shit.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks. Yes.
Your petunias will come up a treat, though.
Completely threw me then. Yes, Tom Canton, we've already mentioned him, running the Instagram account, doing an excellent job. He manages to do it in between his uni work, so fair play to him. He does do a super job, so thank you, Tom. And also to our other radio panel, that's John Welsh, Tim Hargreaves, Mr. Shredder, obviously the lovely Dom, and I'll include Geoff in that as well. Excellent stuff. We'll be doing a radio show on Sunday. Danny, depends if you're out of bed, I presume.
Probably.
So
depends how my
not.
kidneys are, because they've been achy.
Probably not. And for those asking, it doesn't matter how the game goes. We'll be doing it. So I'll probably be there. Danny hopefully be there.
Unless it's 6-0, it'll be too full of expletives and deletives.
Well, yeah, let's bloody hope not, eh? And then just a personal shout out from me. It's a lady in Canada.
Surprise.
Oh, shut up. It's a lady called Catherine. She's at COY Gooners Girl. So COY Gooners Girl.
She's where?
She's in Chicago. Sorry, I said
Chicago.
I get confused with R. Kelly.
Oh,
sorry.
all those
not
C words.
She's a nice girl.
She is. Yeah, she's
good.
lovely. She's very kindly actually offered to edit my match reports on the Pirates site as well. So she's
I
a
can do that for you.
No, you can't. You leave it alone, you fucker. But yeah, she's in Chicago, Illinois, home of the Chicago Fire. So shout out to Catherine. Also, we've had a donation while we've been podding, so I need to give this gentleman a shout. Martin Stepanak, and I got to read you the comment. He says, I hope this helps out with the Barbs a little further to your goals. And he's put his Twitter hashtag, which is at @badwaterstorff, sends his support from hell in Norway. Well, I mean, I'd love to live in hell. That sounds awesome, doesn't it? We've had a donation from hell.
Not be funny, the way you play, you have to be in hell.
God, cheeky bastard. But thank you very much, Martin. Apologies I didn't get you in early. That's the final thing from me to say is just Pirates donation page. I've been genuinely bowled over at how many people have donated.
It's a real place.
It is, of course, it's a real place. It's not made up.
Hell is a village in the Lanky area of the municipality of Strudel in Noodle Floodle Doodle country.
Well,
there you go. It's in the western.
Well, a Bergkamp Geography Wonderland podcast. There you go. You've learned something. But no, I do just want to thank everyone. I know I read out the names earlier on, but I can't thank you all enough for the donations you put. They've not been small donations either. People have donated some really good, sizable figures. So I really appreciate that. As do all the team as well. Thank you to everyone that's done that. The donation page will remain open for the summer. If we hit our target early, I have got another shirt that I will chuck into the mix. So if we do hit our target early, I'll keep the drawer open and I'll chuck yet another shirt into the mix. And it's actually it's a Carl Jenkinson away shirt from the same season. So
I'm hoping that they're going to donate a few players, mate.
If we need to. Well,
I've just had a look and he lives near Trondheim.
If Mikel Arteta is released on a free in the summer, we'll quite happily have him. Or Flamini. I'll
they
take
need
him.
more than 2 players.
But no, on a serious note, I do appreciate it. And thank you, Jace, for the kind words that you gave out last week. I do appreciate it, but I want everyone to know that. People think we hate each other, and we don't, do we? It's love, really.
Only on a Wednesday we hate each other.
Yes.
Look, I hope you win every bloody game, okay? But when you lose, I'm going to rip the piss out of you.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't have it any other way, to be fair.
Exactly, mate.
I love you, really. And I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks.
Come on, question time has started.
You bastard. Right. So all that remains to be said is thank you, Danny, for pushing your knobs.
No, very kind. Wasn't much to push.
No, absolutely. Thank you, Jace, as ever, for injecting your politeness into the pod.
Always a pleasure, never a chore.
Thank you. And always a pleasure, Geoff. Thank you for coming on again, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Pleasure is mine. So that was a Bergkamp Wonderland Arsenal podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully Gimli will be back next week, so get the abuse in early. No, give him some love. He will be back, and we will be back at the same time next Thursday. Thank you very much for listening. Keep it Arsenal. Good night.
Honk, 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 honk. Other truckers.
See you.
Cheeky monkeys.
Bye.
No?
Oi. Ruined it.